Good afternoon, everybody. This is Wade Hoyt, welcoming you to Yankee Stadium and the first game of the 1961 World Series.
Brought to you by Gillette, maker of the 195 adjustable razor, and the remarkable Super Blue Blade that gives all but unbelievable shaving comfort. Foamy, the cream of all instant lather, and Right Guard, the new power spray deodorant for men.
And Chrysler Corporation, where engineering puts something extra into every car. Chrysler Corporation, with the live new cars for 62.
For your listening pleasure, Gillette and Chrysler will also bring you exclusively on NBC Radio the 1962 Rose Bowl game. In this way, these great companies wish to thank you for your support. Here today at Yankee Stadium in New York City is the World Series. Baseball at its finest. Yes, indeed, the big news of the day here at Yankee Stadium is the fact that Mickey Mantle will not be in the starting lineup for the New York Yankees. Mickey Mantle, of course, has suffered that abscess. He had a slight operation, antibiotics were administered, and Mickey Mantle has been under par for almost a week. And so they thought it best that Mickey do not start today. He may start at another time, and of course he will be available for pinch hitting duty. And of course, when you take out of the ball game a fellow who is batting .317 with 54 home runs and 128 runs batted in, you can see how seriously you might, I might say, impair your batting strength and of course your general morale in your ball club. However, that may not be too great in some ways, as the Yankees are reputed to be very strong in bench reserve. So Mickey will be on the bench at any rate. He was out here during batting practice. He took special batting practice very early today, before even some of the Yankees were on the field. And he felt that he could not exactly perform or live up to his usual performance, so he decided not to play. And I may say, on the other hand, that the Reds have a catching problem. Perhaps not serious, but nevertheless, Darrell Johnson, who twisted his side in Pittsburgh, swinging at a pitch ball, has been working out in the infield practice, but there is still a question as to whether he will play or not. And I see that his number is posted on the scoreboard, so when we give the lineups in a few moments, we will list Darrell Johnson as the catcher, unless we hear differently. Of course, the first game of this, the 58 World Series, finds two great champions of the National and American League struggling to get all the important jump toward the World Championship. The Yankees are entering the Classic for the 26th time and the 15th time in the last 18 years. The Cincinnati Reds, of course, haven't been that fortunate, as this will be the fourth World Series for the Reds since the inception of the Classics back in 1903. Moreover, the Reds haven't won a National League pennant since 1940, when they won both the league championship and the World Series, and they defeated Detroit in that 1940 World Series. The 1961 series then finds the polished, suave, powerful, and efficient Yankees taking the field in their home stadium, prepared to battle a team of rugged, determined, capable opportunists, a Cincinnati team often low-rated by experts, but a gritty crew of clutch players who, with spark, were able, of course, to overcome terrific odds in winning the 1961 National League pennant. The Yankees won the American League flag, much as they always have, by beating down their most dangerous competition when the crucial times arrived late in the season. Detroit made a very gallant effort, but the Yankees were just too strong. The Cincinnati Reds won in their own league, not by luck or fate, but by beating the top clubs when they had to. And Freddie Hutchinson's courageous gang won 3 doubleheaders from a good and talented Los Angeles team. They beat the Dodgers in the season series 12 games to 10. They topped the hard-hitting third-place Giants 12 games to 10. And they walloped a fine fourth-place Milwaukee team 15 games to 7. So the Reds actually earned their right to be in this World Series today. The Yankees are old hands at this World Series business. In fact, only Tex Clevenger, Bud Daly, Al Downing, Hal Renniff, Raleigh Sheldon, Billy Gardner, Bob Hale, and Jack Reed, 8 Yankees, have never been in a World Series. 17 of them have, whereas 23 of the 25 Reds have never been in a World Series. 2 have. Joey J with Milwaukee Darrell Johnson as a bullpen catcher with the Yankees a couple of years ago. And so we have two fine teams contending here today, and who will contend until one of them wins 4 games and becomes the world champion. Gillette has asked me to bring you the following public service message. Every year, forest fires cause untold damage. They destroy timber, they blight recreational areas, they kill wildlife and people. And the pity of it is, 9 out of 10 are started by careless people. And here's what you can do. 1, crush out cigarette, cigar, and pipe ashes. 2, hold matches until cold after using. 3, drown all campfires, then stir and drown again. 4, find out the law before starting a fire. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Well, the World Series this year opens on a note of sensationalism, as those great sluggers, Maris and Mantle, staged their terrific onslaught on Babe Ruth's home run record, with Maris capping the season with a record of 61 homers for 162 games. A remarkable, stupendous feat in any league at any time. And also Whitey Ford's 25 wins with only 4 losses, and Arroyo's great relief work. The Cincinnati Reds provided a team sensational drive in the National League. They lost down in Florida in the Grapefruit League, and they were a groping patchwork team when the season started. The team gelled, grew in confidence, in stature, confounding the experts, and causing bated breaths, raised eyebrows, and a local craze, I might add, in Cincinnati. And of course, now today, these two fine teams meet head-on. Jim O'Toole, the good-looking 24-year-old left-hander, clean-cut youngster, opposing the brilliant, fine, homegrown New York star, Whitey Ford. And down in the stands watching will be baseball's own population. The men who have dedicated their lives to baseball, from the baseball commissioner, Ford Frick, to Presidents Warren Giles of the National League, Joe Cronin of the American League, down to the club officials, general managers, scouts, managers, baseball men of all varied talents, all here to cast appraising eyes on these teams today. Records will be broken. Records are always broken, of course. Every time that Yogi Berra steps on the field, a record will be broken. And I think that perhaps now we can give you the lineups for this afternoon. The first game of the 1961 World Series, the visiting team, the Cincinnati Reds, lining up this way. Don Blasingame at second base, leading off. Eddie Casco, the shortstop, batting second. Veda Pinson in center field, batting third. Frankie Robinson, the right fielder, batting fourth. Wally Post in right field, batting fifth. Gene Freese at third base, batting sixth. Gordy Coleman, the first baseman, will hit seventh. Darrell Johnson, catching, batting eighth. And Jim O'Toole, who has won 19 and lost 9, will be the pitcher. For the New York Yankees, Bobby Richardson, the second baseman, is the leadoff batter. Tony Kubek, the shortstop, batting second. Roger Maris in center field. Maris has been switched from right to center with Mantle out of the game. Maris is the center fielder, batting third. Elston Howard, catching, batting fourth. Bill Moose Skowron, the first baseman, batting fifth. Yogi Berra, the left fielder, batting sixth. Hector Lopez is batting seventh. Cletus Boyer, batting eighth. And Whitey Ford, with 25 victories and 4 defeats, will do the pitching. Now, this first game in the 1961 World Series is being brought to you from Yankee Stadium in New York.
Fans, if you're anything like me, names such as Lou Gehrig, Carl Hubble, Jimmy Fox, Dizzy Dean give you a charge just hearing them. That's why I'm getting such a boot out of this new Gillette World Series Encyclopedia. It's got all the great names in it, the legends, the marvelous color of the World Series since it began. This 256-page pocket encyclopedia is a Gillette exclusive. You can't buy it anywhere, but it's yours free with the Gillette adjustable razor at the regular price of $1.95. The adjustable, you know, is the famous razor with 9 numbered stops on a micrometer dial. Just turn to the setting that's exactly right for your combination of skin and beard. With it comes a dispenser of those amazing Super Blue Blades. for almost unbelievable shaving comfort. Don't let this deal get away. Pick up the Gillette adjustable razor with Super Blue Blades, plus your free World Series encyclopedia. All for the price of the razor set alone, just $1.95.
Here are the umpires for this first game of the 1961 World Series. From the American League, Ed Runge, R-U-N-G-E, will umpire behind the home plate and call the balls and strikes. At first base, Jocko Conlon of the National League will make the decisions. At second base, the American League umpire Frank Umont will be the official there. At third base, the National League umpire Augie Donatelli. At third base. Down the left field line, the umpire will be Shag Crawford of the National League. Down the right field line, Bob Stewart of the American League. And just at this moment, out there in center field, Di Lombardo and his Royal Canadians are preparing to entertain the fans before this ball game. We'll pause here 10 seconds for station identification. Here in New York, of course, we've had varied weather. There were reports last night that this game would not be played because of impending rain and general inclement weather. But today, the sun was out most of the morning, very brightly, and however, it's clouded over again now. Not that it has any appearance of rain, I wouldn't say that, but it is a rather chilly day. A little bit raw, I would say, in spots, and however, the huge stadium is filling up fast, and of course the preliminaries taking place here at the Yankee Stadium are always colorful and always of great stature. Of course, there is no classic quite like baseball, as I believe, because baseball is able to put any number of games together in a World Series, one immediately following another, and the interest sustains itself for over a long period of time. It is not just a one-shot, we may say, and baseball in its 58th classic just promises to be one of almost anything. Exciting play, drama, color, everything else that you can possibly imagine incorporated in a World Series. I may say for myself that, if I may, that I pitched in 6 World Series here in the Yankee Stadium, and of course it's a definite pleasure to be back. The national anthem now will be sung by Norman Atkins, the star of Di Lombardo's production, Paradise Island.
Raises the colors, and Norman Atkins, star of Di Lombardo's production of Paradise Island, sings our national anthem, accompanied by the Lombardo Orchestra.
Marine Corps color guard from the recruiting station here in the city raised the colors. And, of course, the Reds marched to the third base foul line and stood along the third base foul line. The Yankees marched to the first base line and stood at attention along the first base line. I see now that we're about to start, and I will turn you over to Bob Wolf, broadcast for the Minnesota Twins.
Thank you, Wade Hoyt. Hi, everybody. A rather overcast day at the moment. Earlier, the sun did peek through for a while. but there's certainly no deterrent to the enthusiasm of the crowd here for this big World Series. The Reds bullpen brigade has just started out of their dugout, going out to left center field. And a full house here at Yankee Stadium. There may be a seat or two still absent, but folks are still filing through the turnstiles. It looks like a tremendous crowd on hand for the opener. And there go the New York Yankees out on the field. Yogi Berra going out to left field. Roger Maris in center. Hector Lopez to right field. In the infield, Boyers at third, Kubek at short. Richardson is at second, and Bill Skowron at first. Whitey Ford has not come up out of the dugout as yet. Elston Howard, with his catching paraphernalia on, is right there, set to receive Whitey when Ford goes out to the mound. Don Blasingame has just come up out of the Cincinnati dugout off to our left. And there goes Whitey out to the mound right now. Whitey Ford with a record of 25 wins and 4 defeats for the season, striding out to the mound. Blasingame will be leading off for the Cincinnati Reds. And I might just give you 1 or 2 notes before the ball game about the condition of Darrell Johnson, who is the Reds catcher. He told me when I spoke to him in the batting practice that he still felt a twinge in his side, but he was most anxious to play. He used to be with the New York Yankees, knows their players very well, and so he is in the starting lineup as the catcher, albeit he is not 100% perfect. And on the other side of the fence, I'd like to speak to you just briefly about Mickey Mantle's condition. But first, let's watch down near the Yankee dugout, where one of the all-time Yankee greats will be throwing out the first ball this afternoon. Hall of Fame immortal Joe DiMaggio is standing just about 10 feet from the dugout, raises his arm and throws it to Elston Howard, who receives the ball. And now Elston goes over, shakes hands with Joe DiMaggio, and returns the ball to the Yankee great. Joe DiMaggio, just a quarter of a century ago that Joe played his first World Series, batting .346 against the New York Giants. And he still appears to be in tip-top shape. Slim, he now goes over the railing and goes down into the Yankee dugout, where, of course, he's giving the handshakes out prior to the start of play. I was about to speak about Mickey Mantle's condition. I spoke to Ralph Houk about Mickey before the ball game, and I said, what's the exact reason that Mantle is not starting? As you folks know, he's had a long siege of virus. He has had an abscess on his right hip, went to minor surgery. But there was also quite a few stories to the effect that Mickey was weak. Mickey, of course, has been trying to regain his strength. And according to Ralph Houk, he said that Mantle is not weak now. He has regained most of his strength back. He is not in the game because the operation still hurts, especially when he runs or tries to do much swinging in the batter's box. But his vigor has returned, and he is available for pinch hitting duties. So that's the Mantle story as of the moment. And now we're set for the first pitch coming up in just short order. Whitey Ford is back now to home plate. There's an exit way out in a deep center that is being closed. Don Blasingame, left-handed batter, playing second base with a .222 batting average. 1 homer, 21 RBIs this past season. Steps in to face Ford. Ed Runge calls play ball. Here's the first pitch of the series. A curve called strike. A sweeping curve, which was on the outside corner for a called strike 1 to Don Blasingame, who is 30 years old, a left-handed batter. Real hustler for the Reds. Here's Ford's next pitch. Swung on as a tapped foul outside the third baseline, trickling over toward the Reds dugout. On the count now, strike 2 to Don Blasingame. Blasingame has appeared in pressure before. He was back in the 1958 All-Star game among his other honors in the past. He'll be fouled by Eddie Casco, who's in the on-deck circle. Whitey Ford on the mound with a 2-strike count. Here's the windup. Ford's next pitch, a curveball which moves Blasingame back away from the plate. On the count now is ball 1, strike 2. In Yankee Stadium, it's 296 down the right field line, and it's 301 down the left field line. 461 to deep to center. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up. It's a curve inside as Blasingame backs away, and so far Ford has been relying on that curveball, and he's got a beauty. Lopez is out there in right field, and beyond Lopez, about 20 feet back, is the 344-foot sign. A favorite target for left-handed batters. Ready now for that 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. And it's a foul right back behind home plate. Ford this time cross-fired a bit on a fastball, and Blasingame topped it right down into the dirt. And the count holds at 2-2. Whitey Ford on the mound, and he is setting records just by appearing out there on the mound this afternoon. This is Ford's 8th World Series. He has a 7-4 record in the Classics, and the most victories ever gained by a series left-hander. Ready for that 2-2 pitch to Blasingame. It is swung on and missed. The bat goes flying out of Blasingame's hands all the way out to Bill Skowron as Blasingame is out on a strikeout. So there's one away in the top of the first inning as Ford starts off by striking out the first man that he pitches to. Eddie Casco, a right-handed batter playing shortstop, hit .271 this past season, had 2 homers and 27 RBIs. Very steady, dependable player. He has anchored that the left side of the Reds infield, steps in. He stands deep in the batter's box as Whitey Ford looks in to get the sign now from Elston Howard. They're playing Casco straight away. The pitch is a strike in the outside corner. Ed Runge calling the balls and strikes. Conlon is at first, Umont at second, and Donatelli at third. Runge of the American League, Conlon National League, Umont American League, Donatelli National League. Here's the next pitch coming up to Casco. He takes another strike. This one came in letter high in the outside corner. The count now strike 2 as Casco steps out of the batter's box. Bob Stewart guarding the right field line, and Shag Crawford the left here in this World Series play. And now with a 2-strike count, Casco steps back in. Whitey Ford all set to work. Here comes the pitch, and it's a ground ball which is just foul outside of third. Picked up by Clete Boyer. He keeps the ball in play as he whips it back to Ford. Ball just about 1 or 2 feet outside the line. And the count holds strike 2 to Eddie Casco. Casco steps back in. Very slight breeze is blowing toward right center, but it's not a factor in the ballgame at all. Count strike 2. Here's the sign now from Elston Howard, and now Ford steps down off the mound for a moment, scuffs a bit of the dirt away before stepping back to toe the rubber once again. Whitey all set to work. 2 strikes to count. There's one away, top of the first. Ford winds. Here comes the pitch. A curveball is fouled back behind home plate, and the count holds at strike 2. Whitey Ford started off the ball game with a strikeout. He had 210 strikeouts this past season, tying Bob Turley as the most by a Yankee pitcher since Chesbro's 240 way back in 1904. Whitey rubbing up the ball. Now he's ready. 2 strikes to count to Casco. 1 out. There's nobody on. Ford winds. The left-hander's pitch on the way is inside and low for a ball. The count now is 1-2. Ford is a control artist. He likes to throw those curves at varying speeds, likes to play the corners, has a lot of savvy, a lot of poise on the mound. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up to Casco. Curve is wide this time. The count now is 2-2. Whitey has started more World Series games than any other pitcher. He's now started 15. He also holds the record for the most strikeouts. He's had 64, including the one this afternoon. He also was tied for the most victories with Allie Reynolds and Red Ruffing. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up to Casco. Swung on, another foul outside of third on the ground. So the count holds at 2-2 to Eddie Casco with 1 away in the top of the first inning. The Cincinnati Reds, who amazed baseball. Last year they finished 6th, 28 games out. This year, although the experts said that it could not be done, they did it. Came through to the pennant. And they're all fired up for the series against the Yankees. The pitch swung on as a ball looped to short left field, and it's in there for a base hit. Yogi Berra goes over to field it, makes a throw into second base as Casco loops a single to left field. So the Reds, with a man on first base, was 1 away. And here is the fleet-footed Veda Pinson, who had a lusty .343 average this past season, 16 homers and 87 runs batted in. A left-handed batter, and this fellow Pinson can really fly. There's no score. We're in the top of the first inning. There's 1 out and 1 on. The third baseman, Clete Boyer, comes in on the edge of the infield grass. Ford looks toward first. The pitch swung on and fouled back out of play. Out now, strike 1 to Veda Pinson. Whitey Ford has a tremendous pickoff motion. Throughout the years, I've seen Whitey make pickoffs innumerable times at first, but also at second and also at third. Eddie Casco, I'm sure, in all the scouting reports, is well aware of Ford's prowess in this department, taking a rather slim lead at the moment. Pinson waits. The pitch swung on as a foul, trickling over toward the New York Yankee dugout. 2 strikes to Veda Pinson. Pinson is a very durable player. He hasn't missed a game during his 3 full seasons at Cincinnati. And Beta this year wound up second to Pittsburgh's Bob Clemente in the National League batting race. He led the National League in hits this past season with 208. He has a slight crouch to the plate as he waits for the next pitch. Count is strike 2. Casco on first, there's one away. Stretching the balls by Ford. The pitch, swung on, it's a fly ball to deep center field. Maris turns, he's going back, still back, and he makes the catch in deep center. Casco gets back to first base. That brought the crowd here to its feet as Pinson sent a long shot well over 400 feet to deep center field, and Maris turned, ran back, took a second look, went back and gathered it in. Roger Maris, who is playing in center field this afternoon, making the put out for out number 2, and that brings up Frank Robinson, who this past season hit a solid .323 with 37 homers, 124 RBIs. Strike call. Robinson is a right-handed batter. He's playing left field. Casco on first, there are 2 away. Frank Robinson, big power man of the Reds, up there now. Here's the pitch, and it's over for a called strike 2. It's interesting to note Yogi Berra in left field, who of course is mighty concerned with Robinson's hitting. Yogi, as he stands there, faces the left field line. He stands sideways as he gets set for the pitch, ready to break toward his right. And he's playing Robinson over now in left center. The 2-strike pitch coming up. Here it is. And it's swung on and missed. Robinson is out on a strikeout. So, in the top of the first, there are no runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man is left. The score after the top of the first inning, the Reds 0, the Yankees coming up. Immediately after the game, I'll be scooting down to the locker room to hash the game over with the guys while they shave. That's right. And you can bet I know how they shave because I watch them. Instant Lather is their top choice in shaving cream, like Gillette Foamy. The boys go big for its speed and convenience. Just press the nozzle and you've got it. Full-bodied, creamy, rich lather that holds loads of water against your beard. Just a little does the job, so Foamy saves you money. And it contains K34, an antiseptic that kills harmful facial bacteria while you shave. Pick up Gillette Foamy Instant Lather at your nearby store. 2 sizes, regular at 79 cents, or the giant size, almost twice as much, for only 98 cents. And if you prefer a shave cream with that extra cool feeling, get Foamy with refreshing menthol added. It comes in both sizes at no extra cost. And now we move into the bottom half of the first inning as Jim O'Toole goes out to the mound, taking his warm-ups now. And Bobby Richardson is standing by, all set to come up. Setting the defensive alignment for the Reds for you. Freeze at third, Casco at short, Blasingame at second, and Coleman at first. Darrell Johnson doing the receiving. Robinson is in left, Pinson in center, and Post is in right. Bobby Richardson, the Yankees second baseman, a right-handed batter, hitting .261 with 3 homers and 49 RBIs this past year, steps in. Bobby Richardson, last year's World Series star. O'Toole, left-hander, delivers the first pitch as a curve low, and the count miles, ball 1. Bobby had more hits than any other Yankee this past season, ranked 5th in hits in the American League. Ball 1, the count to Bobby Richardson. Here's O'Toole's next pitch, a curve in the outside corner for a called strike. On the count is 1-1. Wally Moses is the coach at first, Frankie Crosetti at third. This, by the way, is Frankie's 20th World Series, and today is his birthday, his 51st. The 1-1 pitch is low, and the count now is 2 balls, strike 1 to Richardson. Last year, Bobby established a World Series record in runs batted in with 12 for a series, and also 6 for a game. This is his 4th World Series. Here's the 2-1 pitch coming up. He swings and lines one to center field for a base hit. Richardson hit a hanging curve about letter high and spanked it to center field on the line for a single leading off for the New York Yankees. We're in the bottom half of the first inning, and there is no score in the ballgame. Tony Kubek, Yankee shortstop, left-handed batter, hitting .276, 8 homers, 46 RBIs this past season, steps in. Jim O'Toole, who had a 19-9 record this past season, is on the mound. The left-hander with the stretch and the pause. Here's the pitch, and the pitch comes in wide as Kubek bluffs a bunt. Ball one. O'Toole says that when he was in high school and later in college, that he used to intently watch Whitey Ford, listen to his prowess in the air, watch him on TV, and has copied some of his mannerisms. Here's the pitch, and this one comes in low, and the count is ball 2, and again Kubek went up on the bat as if to bunt and passed up the pitch. Count now is ball 2 to Kubek. Richardson on first, there's nobody out. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. No score. Jim O'Toole, the ace left-hander, is on the mound for the Reds. He was tops on his club in innings pitched, strikeouts, and earned run average among the regular workers. Ball 2 to Kubek. The pitch is high, and the count now is ball 3. It was high and inside. Cast 3-0 to Kubek. Richardson on first. The outfield plays Kubek just slightly toward right. The biggest hole is in left center field. There'll be records being set right throughout this series. Yogi Berra, for example, setting innumerable records. He just continues his old records. The 3-0 pitch to Kubek is ball 4. And 4 pitches, Kubek draws a walk. Last pitch was inside as Richardson moves to second. And that brings up Roger Maris with men on first and second and nobody out. Well, there may be a few who have not heard of Roger Maris's exploits, but I guess they're just back from a hunting expedition in the wilds of some unknown continent. Because Maris, of course, has been plastered across every headline for weeks now, culminating with that home run number 61. He is a .269 average for the season. The pitch is low for a ball. That's 5 balls in a row now, thrown by Jim O'Toole. Richardson is on second. Kubek is on first, and there's nobody out. No score in the bottom of the first. And now Freddie Hutchinson is trotting out to the mound. Wants to speak to O'Toole. Has run into a little wild spell. Apparently wants to calm down his pitcher. The pressure for the World Series is intense. And Hutch is out there speaking to O'Toole. Darrell Johnson, the catcher, is out joining him, and now Hutch is going back toward the dugout. So Maris steps back in. The count now is ball 1 as Hutch returns to the dugout. Maris this past season with 61 homers and 142 RBIs. He's a pull hitter, post playing him deep and right. The pitch, swung on and missed. Count now is 1-1. Maris did not break the old record held by Babe Ruth in 154 games at 60, but he set a brand new record, 61 in 162 games. 1-1 to Roger Maris. As a look back toward second to Richardson. Here's the pitch, and it comes in low, and the count now is 2 balls, strike 1. Maris knocks some dirt out of his spikes, now paws at the ground, and hitches up the pants, steps back in, looks out toward O'Toole, who is pitching Maris very cautiously indeed. 2-1 to Roger Maris. Runners are Richardson and Kubek. A look back toward second. The pitch. Maris swings, sends a fly ball to short left field. Robinson is coming in. Back goes Casco. The shortstop takes it in short left. Eddie Casco went back in a short left to take it, and he dug up part of the Yankee Stadium turf as he slipped just slightly. Caught the ball about 15 feet or so back on the outfield grass as Maris goes out on a pop-up. Now that brings up Elston Howard, who's sitting in the number 4 slot. Doing the catching, he's a right-handed batter. His batting average is .348. This past season at 21 homers and 78 runs batted in. Elston Howard comes up. The Reds infield a double play depth. There's one out. Runners on second and first. O'Toole looks back toward second, then delivers, and it's over for a called strike one. O'Toole has made rapid strides in professional ranks. There's no score. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. This is only his fourth season as a professional. Strike one to Elston Howard. Here's the next pitch. Elston swings and misses, and the count now strike two to Howard. He took a big ripple that time. You can hear the ooh and ahs of the crowd here as they anticipated action on that swing. Strike two to Elston Howard. Howard with a tremendous season this year with a .348 batting average. Now we're set for the next pitch coming up. There's a look back towards second base. Here it comes. And there's a ball going to left center field. Robinson and Pinson both move. Pinson calling for it. He's there and has it. Makes a quick throw toward third, which is off Casco's glove as he leaped for the ball. Freeze picks it up. There's no advance by Richardson. As Howard flies out to Pinson in left center, and that brings up Bill Skowron, the Yankee first baseman, with a .267 batting average for the past season, 28 homers and 89 runs batted in. Bill Skowron. Last year was his best performances. He tied a series record with 12 hits and batted .375. This is Bill's sixth World Series. He is ever dangerous in Yankee Stadium because Skowron can hit with power to all fields, right as well as left and center. Skowron steps in, 2 down, 2 on. The pitch is low, ball one from Jim O'Toole. O'Toole attended the University of Wisconsin for a couple of years, and when he broke into professional play, he was a 20-game winner back at Nashville back in 1958. He's had increasingly fine seasons every year for the Reds. Ball one, the count to Skowron. Here's the next pitch, and it comes in low, ball two. O'Toole finished up this season in a blaze of glory with 8 wins in a row. So he has come into the World Series with great momentum. Ball two to Skowron. Richardson on second. Kubek on first. There are 2 away. No score. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. There's a look back towards second base. Skowron waits. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Low again. Ball 3. And if Bill Skowron gets on, Yogi Berra is off to the side, swinging a bat. Ball 3 to Bill Skowron, who was just looked down to Frank Crosetti, the third base coach, before stepping back in. 3-0. Let's see what comes up on this next one, with 2 runners aboard and 2 away. Robinson is playing Skowron over toward left center. Ready for that 3-0 pitch. Here it is. Strike call. O'Toole fired the fast one on the inside corner. And the count now is 3-1 to Bill Skowron. Blasingame at second is playing Skowron just about a foot or so from the outfield grass between first and second. Ready for that 3-1 pitch. Beta Pinson playing fairly deep in left center, and Skowron steps out just for the moment. This past year, Bill had his lowest batting average of his major league career, but hit his peak as a home run hitter with 28 homers. Ready for that 3-1 pitch now. The pause, belt high. The pitch is low, and it skips away from Johnson. However, that's ball 4 as Richardson moves to third base, Kubek to second, and it did not go far enough away from Johnson for the runners to move up more than the one allotted base with the walk, forcing them to move to second and third. As Skowron, drawing the walk, is now on first. Richardson is over at third, and Tony Kubek is on second. So in the bottom half of the first inning, the bases are loaded as Yogi Berra, with a .271 past season record, 22 homers and 61 RBIs, comes up. Yogi is the senior Yankee player of the series. His career with New York dating back to late in 1946. He's hit more homers and made more hits than any other catcher in history. He's been the American League's most valuable player 3 times. and has the most RBIs of any World Series player in history. The base is loaded. The pitch is wide. Ball one. This is Berra's 12th World Series. That's a record, and he has many, many more. Ball one to Yogi Berra. The bases are loaded. 2 outs. Richardson at third, Kubek at second, Skowron at first. O'Toole winds. The next pitch. Swung on and missed. The count now is 1-1 to Yogi Berra. Berra, left-handed batter. Steps out for just a moment. Picks up a little dirt. Rubbing his hands. Now grips the bat. Steps back in. The outfield finds post deep in right field. Pinson over in right center. Robinson not too deep in left center field. The infield back with 2 away. The count is 1-1. Here's the sign from Johnson. O'Toole all set to work. Winds. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It is low. Blocked by Johnson, the catcher, and the count now is 2 balls, strike 1. O'Toole likes to keep that ball low. Throws a variety of pitches, curve and the slider. And the count now is 2-1 to Yogi Berra. 3 Yankees aboard, no scores yet. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. First game of the World Series. Ready for that 2-1 pitch now to Berra. Berra in and waiting. O'Toole gets the sign from Johnson. Count is 2 balls and a strike. The windup. Here's the pitch. It's swung on and fouled back behind home plate just to the right. And the count now is 2-2. As Berra again steps out of the batter's box and O'Toole goes back to the rosin bag. A murmur here through Yankee Stadium as the Yankees have the sacks loaded. The old colorful veteran Yogi Berra at the plate with a 2-2 count and 3 men aboard for New York. O'Toole bearing down with every pitch here in this first inning. Gets the sign now from Johnson. We're set for that 2-2 pitch. Berra swinging the bat as O'Toole takes a little more time. O'Toole still looking in, and Berra getting a little uncomfortable waiting. Decides to step out for a moment just to relieve the pressure. Now he tugs the peak of his cap and steps back in. The count is 2-2. 3 Yankees on as O'Toole all set to fire. Starts the windup. Here comes the pitch. Low, ball 3. So it's gone all the way now. 3-2 with the bases loaded. Listen to this crowd. Something has to give. And I'm sure that there's not a fan here in New York or elsewhere listening in who is not craning forward right now. With this situation, the bases loaded, 3-2 and 2 outs. O'Toole looks in to get the sign. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. And there's a high pop-up. Blassingame, the second baseman, is waiting for it. Drifts back. He's there. He's got it. So that retires the side with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left. And at the end of 1 full inning, the score is Cincinnati nothing, New York nothing.
Friends, they're killing Lavagettos. They're beaten him to pieces.
That's what happened back in 1947 when Cookie Lavagetto busted up Bill Bevan's try for a series no-hitter. Let's hear the actual play-by-play.
Both Alderman was walked. No hits by Bevins. 2 out last of the night. The pitch swung on. There's a drive hit out toward the right field corner. Henrik is going back. He can't get it. It's off the wall for a base hit. Here comes the tying run, and here comes the winning run.
Unforgettable. These World Series thrills are yours to relive when you leaf through the new Gillette World Series Encyclopedia. Yours free with the purchase of the Gillette Adjustable Razor Set for only $1.95. This 256-page Gillette pocketbook is crammed with lively reading, humorous cartoons, and practically every series fact and record. You get it free with the Gillette Adjustable Razor and a dispenser of those wonderfully easy-shaving Super Blue Blades for the price of the razor set alone, just $1.95.
Bob Wolf with White Hoyt here in Yankee Stadium in New York City, where the second inning is now getting underway, and Wally Post, right fielder for Cincinnati, is coming up now to face southpaw Whitey Ford. Wally Post, who this past season had a .294 average, 20 home runs, and 57 RBIs. Right-handed batter. The pitch swung on. It's a ground ball going out to the third baseman Boyer. There's the throw to first for the out. So there's 1 away. There's no score. We're in the top of the second inning. On the batter now is Gene Freese with a .277 average this past year, 26 homers, and 87 RBIs. Gene Freese steps in, a right-handed power hitter, a pull hitter. Gene hit more homers this season than any other third baseman in the history of the Reds. He steps in now to face Whitey Ford. Scoreless ball game so far, one away in the top of the second. Here comes Ford's pitch. It's wide for a ball. The lights have come on, starting out the second inning here in New York. In the first inning against Whitey Ford, Eddie Casco had a single to left field. He was left-stranded. And for the New York Yankees in the bottom of the first, Richardson had a hit. The bases were loaded when the inning came to an end. Here's the pitch coming up to Freeze. He swings and hits the ball, knocked down by Boyer. He threw to first for the out. Clete Boyer, the third baseman of the New York Yankees, made a fine play. It was a low liner which skipped in the dirt just about 2 or 3 feet in front of Boyer. And Boyer, as he was falling to his right, knocked the ball down, kept it in front of him, quickly picked up the ball and threw Freeze out for a fine fielding play. So they're 2 away in the top of the second. About an hour is Gordy Coleman. He's a left-handed power hitter. 287 this past year. He swings and misses for strike one. He had 26 homers and 87 RBIs this past season. And Coleman that time, as he swung and missed against Ford, went stepping way far in the bucket. But this is a very deceptive hitter. He can look very bad as he swings and misses, but on the next pitch he can knock that ball out of sight. Here's the pitch coming in low. Count miles 1-1. He falls away from the left-handers, Ford and others. But on one time at the plate, he can strike out. The next time, he can park a pitch up in the seats. Here it comes. He swings a hopper back to Ford. They throw to first base for the out. 3 up and 3 down in the second. The score at the end of an inning and a half. Reds nothing, the Yankees nothing.
Paper-made credit card contest winners now leaving for London, Paris, and other world-famous cities.
How would you like to fly anywhere, stay anywhere, dine anywhere, and just sign for it? Never get a bill. Well, the world is yours if you win the Paper-Mate $50,000 credit card contest. You'll fly the finest on TWA Superjets, and just sign for it using your TWA Air Travel Card. You'll stay at luxury hotels like the Royal Hawaiian in Honolulu, dine at famous restaurants in Paris or Rome, and just sign for it using your Diners Club card. You'll have a car when you want it with your Hertz Rent-A-Car card, gas when you need it with your Shell credit card. When it's time to pay, just pull out your Paper-Mate pen and sign for it. Never get a bill. Grand prize is $10,000 in credit or cash, 500 other prizes. Get entry blanks and full contest details now wherever Paper-Mate pens are sold.
We pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Are you mixing with the best? Saratoga Vichy with the yellow label that outsells all the rest. The genuine Vichy with the yellow label tastes better tonight, feel better tomorrow. Saratoga with the yellow label.
Saratoga Vichy brings you all the sparkle of a true champion. Make sure you're mixing with the best. Saratoga Vichy. WGY Schenectady.
No score in the ball game as we move into the bottom half of inning number 2. And Hector Lopez, who is playing right field, a right-handed batter, hit .222 this past season with 3 homers, 22 RBIs. Steps in to face southpaw Jim O'Toole. Here's the windup by O'Toole. The pitch is high for a ball. Hector Lopez, born in Panama. He's 6 feet, 177 pounds. He's a good opposite field hitter. The pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. Count is 1-1. Post, the right fielder, has moved a little closer toward the right field line for Lopez. Came to the Yankees in a mid-1959 trade and has 93 runs batted in this season with tops on New York. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He swings and fouls one to the right, and the count now is ball 1, strike 2 to Lopez. Be fouled by Clete Boyer and the pitcher, Whitey Ford. Those foul balls are prized souvenirs. 1-2 to Hector Lopez. Right-handed batter steps back in. Very little breeze this afternoon. It's turned out to be a very pleasant, mild day in New York City. Ready for that 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. A fastball. There's a drive to deep right field. Post is back. He's near the fence. He reaches. He's got it. Wally Post went back on the cinder path, right in front of the 344-foot sign to make the catch of Lopez's opposite field line drive. So there's one away in the bottom of the second. Here's Clete Boyer getting applause for that fine fielding play that he made on Freeze in the top of the inning. Boyer hit .225 this past season. Had 11 homers, 55 runs batted in. 24 years old. 6-footer, 180 pounds. One of 5 brothers who have played professional ball. Here's the pitch. And it's a called strike on an O'Toole curveball. Strike one. One away in the bottom of inning number 2. There's no score. Second inning of the first game of the World Series. O'Toole winds. Here's the next pitch. And it misses the outside corner. The count now is 1-1. Freeze at third. Casco at short. Blasingame at second. Coleman at first. Johnson doing the receiving. Robinson left. Pinson center. And Poston right for the Reds. Ready for that 1-1 pitch to Boyer. Here it is. And it comes in low and away. And the count now is 2 balls. Strike one. Clete Boyer made his series debut in the 1960 Classic, getting 3 hits. 2 of them doubles, the other a triple. Ready for that 2-1 pitch to Boyer. It's wide, and the count now is 3-1. O'Toole is a little control problem here in the early going this afternoon. In the first inning, he walked 2 men. Freddie Hutchinson went out to calm him down. He came back to get Berra on a pop-up with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Count now is 3-1 to Boyer. Here's the next pitch. And it's a fastball lifted high in the air. Out toward the mound. Freeze, the third baseman, is over on the mound, and he makes the catch. So with 2 away, as Boyer has popped up to Gene Freeze, Whitey Ford, who is a 177 batting average, now comes up. Bats left. He's had 10 runs batted in this past season, and he takes low ball 1. No score. We're in the bottom of the second, 2 away. Throughout the years that I've observed Ford, I can tell you he is a pesky type of hitter. He likes to clip and punch the ball, jab him, and he gets his share of hits. He takes low, ball 2. He also is adept at drawing walks. And as a consequence, although his average is of the 177 variety, he spends a lot of time in trying to wheedle his way to first. Ball 2 to Whitey Ford. 2 away, bottom of the second. O'Toole delivers, and it's a called strike on the inside corner. Count now is 2 balls, strike 1. No score, bottom of the second. To lead off the inning, Lopez lying deep to post, then Boyer popped up to Freeze. Ready now for the 2-1 pitch to Ford. Here it is. And it's inside, missing again. The count now is 3-1 to Ford. Whitey steps up there, close to the plate. Count 3-1 to Whitey Ford. O'Toole looks in to get the sign. Into the windup, the 3-1 pitch is over for a called strike, and the count now is 3-2. 3-2 to Ford with 2 away. Whitey has been most successful. He even lives at Lake Success, Long Island, New York. The 3-2 pitch to Ford. Swung on. It's a ground ball going out to Blasingame. Second baseman up with it. The throw to Coleman, and the out to retire the side. So 3 up and 3 down in the bottom of the second. And the score, the end of 2 full innings of the game. The Reds nothing, the Yankees nothing. Wait, you know, when Whitey Ford started this game, he broke your record by pitching in his 8th series. Wade and 2 others that appeared in 7. That bit of info, along with much, much more, is in the Gillette World Series Encyclopedia. This book is a Gillette exclusive, with the history of the series since it began. Now it's not for sale, but dig this. It's yours free with the Gillette adjustable razor set. The adjustable has a micrometer dial on the handle, numbered 1 to 9. Just dial the setting that's right for you. Clean, easy shaves every time. With the adjustable comes a supply of Super Blue Blades, the amazing new blade that millions of men are raving about. Get your free Gillette World Series Encyclopedia, 256 fact-filled pages with the figures and records you want, along with the Gillette adjustable razor and Super Blue Blades, all for just $1.95, the price of the razor set alone. The third inning of a scoreless game so far finds Darrell Johnson leading off for the Reds. He had a .270 batting average this past year, a homer and 9 RBIs. And speaking to Darryl before the ballgame, he said that he still felt a twinge. He is a pulled muscle in his side when he takes a swing. But he wanted to play, as did manager Freddie Hutchinson, needed this experienced hand in the lineup. And so Johnson is in there, albeit he may be psychologically a little troubled because whether or not he can get his full cut. He takes a called strike one. Darryl Johnson used to be with the New York Yankees in the World Series, although he never saw action in the World Series games. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball going out to the third baseman Boyer. They throw to first for the out. Sounded as if Johnson broke his bat that time. He took a three-quarter swing, I would say, and not a complete one with gusto, but he got the bat around pretty well. So he's out number one on the ground out from Boyer to Skowron, and that brings up Jim O'Toole, who is a switch hitter batting right-handed, had a 172 batting average this past year, and helped his own pitching cause with 6 runs batted in. One out, we're in the top of the third. No scores yet. Ford winds. Here's the pitch, and it's strike one. That one was dipping in low as O'Toole took his cut. Swung and missed, strike one. The outfield is playing O'Toole rather shallow with Maris coming in center field, playing a rather shallow center. That ball, which was in the dirt, hopped up as Howard went to block it there and looked like it caught him on the Adam's apple. But Elston appears to be all right now as he crouches once again. Strike one to O'Toole. Here's Ford's next pitch. Strike called the outside corner. Strike two from Whitey Ford. This past year, Ford's greatest season, 25 victories with tops in the majors. Here's the pitch, and it's strike called, and O'Toole is out. A breaking pitch on the inside corner. So O'Toole is out number two, and the batter now is Don Blasingame, who went down swinging in the first inning. Whitey Ford, in 2 2/3 innings, has now posted 3 strikeouts. Blasingame, the victim, the leadoff batter for the Reds, who steps up now with 2 outs and nobody on. Boyer, the third baseman, has moved in just a bit. Here's the pitch to Blasingame. It's low and away in the count now, ball one. So far, the Reds have had 1 hit. That was Eddie Casco's. And the Yankees also have had a hit, Bobby Richardson's. Both hits have been singles. So the totals to this point are identical. Count ball one to Don Blasingame. 2 outs. Here's Ford's next pitch. Fastball over, called strike. That came over just above the knees in the inside corner. The count now is 1-1. This past year, Ford achieved the 20 victory circle for the first time in his brilliant career. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Blasingame. He swings and fouls it off to the right of home plate. And the count now is ball one, strike two. Whitey's lifetime earned run average of 2.76 is the best in the majors. And his lifetime winning percentage, 715, is also best in the majors. Ball one, strike two to Blasingame. Ford takes a little more time, looks in to get the sign now from Elston Howard. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up. And it's low and away in the count now is 2-2. You fans may recall last year in the World Series against the Pirates that Whitey won 2 shutouts. 2-2 to Blasingame. The outfield playing him slightly around toward right. The wind up by Ford. The pitch is inside. On the count now, 3-2. Whitey has been having a little difficulty with his curve this afternoon, and that on certain pitches he is not getting that full break. It seems to be just slipping out of his grasp just a bit, and quite a few with which in the past he would try to nick that inside corner just seem to be hanging up there, causing the left-handers to fall away. 3-2 to Blasingame. Let's see what the next one will bring with 2 away. No scores yet. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Blasingame. Out on the strikeout. That's strikeout number 4, and it retires the side. So on the top of the third, there are 3 up and 3 down. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play, Cincinnati nothing and New York nothing. You know, I can usually find the words to call a play, but I can't come up with the words that adequately describe how clean and easy, how wonderfully comfortable a shave is with that Gillette Super Blue Blade. There's no way around it. You have to try it to believe it. And that's just what over 11 million men have done. They've switched to the Super Blue Blade and discovered almost incredible shaving ease. What makes the Super Blue Blade so amazing? The edge, made by a process exclusive with Gillette. Scientists have called it a breakthrough. Users acknowledge it as the best thing that ever happened to shaving. And the Super Blue Blade is double-edged for double economy. You get more shaves for your money. You get a dispenser free with the Gillette adjustable razor set. And now, for a limited time, you also get a free pocketbook World Series encyclopedia. The whole outfit costs $1.95, the price of the razor set alone. Super Blue Blades and dispensers cost $10 for 69 cents, $15 for $1. Now we move into the bottom of inning number 3. And it's the top of the Yankee batting order. Bobby Richardson, who so far has the Yankees' only hit, a single to center field, stepping in to face Jim O'Toole. We've seen fine pitching, which has characterized this first game so far by Ford and O'Toole. Richardson, 1 for 1 today, steps in, right-handed batter. The pitch is over for a called strike on the outside corner, a fastball. No score in the ballgame, bottom of the third. Richardson followed by Kubek and Maris for the New York Yankees in this inning. Here's the sign now from Johnson, and the pitch on the way is swung on. It's a high hopper over the head of Freeze, backed up by Casco, but no throw is made. Richardson is safe at first base. Bobby hit that one into the ground, and it took a kangaroo hop over the third baseman Freeze's jump. Casco, the shortstop, went behind Freeze and gloved the ball, going far to his right, but had no chance to make a play, as Richardson is an infield hit. His second hit, the Yankees' second hit. And that brings up Tony Kubek, who has walked and has one appearance at the plate. So the Yankees have a runner on, nobody out. Freeze, the third baseman, moves in just a bit as Kubek steps in. Pitch. A bunt is missed, strike one. Kubek last time around, as you recall, bluffed a bunt twice. Finally drew a walk. This time he missed his attempt for strike one. Richardson on first. There's nobody out in the bottom half of the third. Infield with double play depth as the third baseman, Freeze, has moved in a bit. Here's the pitch. And there's the ball golfed into a very short left as Casco moves back on the fringe of the grass and takes it on the pop-up for the out. So Tony Kubek on the pop-up to Casco, who went back on the fringe of the outfield grass to hold it in. Maris, who has been up once and also has popped up to Casco, now steps in with Richardson on first and one away. Roger Maris at the plate. Roger with that erect stance of his, in and waiting. Here comes the pitch, and it's inside. Ball one. Ball one to Roger Maris, batting third in the New York Yankee batting order. Elston Howard is on deck. Ball one the count. Post playing deep and right. There's a stretch in the pause by O'Toole. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Count now is 1-1. Maris not only had 61 home runs, but his 61st won the league runs batted in crown with 142. Second time that Raj has led in runs batted in. And of his homers, 30 were at Yankee Stadium and 31 on the road. 1-1 the count to Maris. Richardson takes it very slimly to first against O'Toole. Here's the pitch. Maris swings and fouls it back. Count now is ball one, strike two. That was back toward the press row. 1-2 to Roger Maris. Maris, by the way, had 49 homers off right-handers, 12 off left-handers. Roger Maris at the plate for the New York Yankees. All eyes riveted on Maris up there as Richardson now takes his lead. Here's the pitch, and it's a curve wide. That was close. Hear the oohs and ahs as Ed Runge gave it a very careful once-over before rendering his decision. The count now is 2-2 to Maris. In most dramatic fashion in the Yankees' last game of the season, Maris won it against Boston with a home run, the only run, as the fans got a big run for their money that day. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up to Maris. Low and away, and the count now is 3-2. 3-2 to Maris. Maris doesn't take much time fiddling around between pitches. He stands right there in the batter's box. There's no score. We're in the bottom half of the third. And now we're set for that 3-2 pitch. Richardson at first base takes a slight lead off the bag. Coleman keeping him close there at the base. 3-2 pitch coming up. There goes Richardson. A swing and a miss. Throw to second base. Richardson starts back to first. There's a throw. He is out. Throw went to Casco, who made a quick throw to Coleman for a double play. Maris went down swinging. Richardson was moving. He went halfway to second. He saw he couldn't make it, so he quickly darted back to first. But Johnson's throw to Casco was quickly relayed to Coleman, and Richardson was out sliding back to the bag for the inning-ending double play. So in the bottom of the third, with the strikeout on the out at first, taking care of the inning, there are no runs, one hit, no errors, and nobody left. And at the end of 3 innings, the score, Reds nothing, the Yankees nothing. In the 4th inning, Eddie Casco, Vada Pinson, and Frank Robinson will be coming up to face Whitey Ford. And so far, we're seeing a defensive duel between these two fine teams. Fine pitching, and no breakthrough by either side. Casco has the one Cincinnati hit. He singled to left field in the 1st inning. He followed by Pinson and Robinson. Here in the 4th is Whitey Ford, all set now to work. Here's the windup, and the pitch comes in low to Casco for ball 1. And he's a very versatile ball player. Play other spots in the infield when called upon, in addition to shortstop. He takes a called strike. Count is 1-1. 1-1 to Eddie Casco. Ford all set. Just the sign from Howard. Left-hander's next offering is swung on and missed. Count now is ball 1, strike 2. 1-2 to Casco. The Casco kid up there at the plate. Here's the windup by Ford. The pitch. Swung on, a ground ball going out to Kubek at short. He scoops it up nicely, throws to first for the out. One away in the top of the 4th. That brings up Vada Pinson, who sent Maris back into deep center for his fly out in the 1st inning. As Vada Pinson, the red speedster, steps in. 5'11", 174 pounds, a left-handed batter. Steps in now, all set. And he attempts a bunt and misses for strike 1. Both Pinson and Robinson, who was on deck, attended the same high school together, but they were teammates. Strike 1 to Pinson, one away in the top of the 4th. There's no score in the ball game. Ford winds. Here's the next one, and it's a curve wide, and the count now is 1-1. Vada used to be a trumpet player, accomplished musician who can blow his own horn, but is certainly modest in doing so. His actions speak for themselves. He sends a hopper out to Richardson, the second baseman. They throw to first for the out. 2 away in the top of the 4th. That brings up Frank Robinson, who struck out on the 1st inning. 2 outs, there's no score. So far, the Reds have 1 hit, and the Yankees have had 2, and Richardson has had both hits for New York. Casco has had the single for the Reds. Frank Robinson, the Reds' long ball hitter, steps in there, one of many that the Reds have, facing Whitey Ford. Left-handed pitch is a breaking pitch over for a called strike one. Ford so far has struck out 4 men in the ball game. Has shown fine control. He has not walked anybody. And nobody has gotten beyond first base. Strike one. Here's the next pitch. And it drops in low, and the count now is 1-1. Robinson can be switched from left to right field depending on the stadium. As a matter of fact, Freddie Hutchinson will platoon quite a bit depending on the ballpark. He's playing the long left field here in New York. 1-1 to Robinson. Here's Ford's next pitch on the way. Fastball over, called strike. And the count now is ball one, strike two, as Robinson steps outside the batter's box, gets a little dirt. Dick Sisler coaching at first, Reggie Otero coaching at third. Now Robinson steps back in. Robinson hangs right over that plate. Stands very close. As he waits now for the next pitch, the count is ball one, strike two. Here it comes. And it's swung on and fouled back behind home plate. Robinson again steps back out. Ball one, strike two to Robinson. Boyer at third and Kubek at short on the Yankees' left side. Richardson at second, Skowron at first on the right side. Berra's in left, Maris is in center, and Lopez in right field. Elston Howard doing the receiving. Whitey Ford in the series opener is on the mound. The count is 1-2 to Frank Robinson. Reds cleanup batter, who looks out now toward the mound, keeps the bat ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Robinson out on a strikeout. Second time that he's whiffed. It's the fifth strikeout for Whitey Ford, and retires the side. And the score at the end of 3.5 innings of play. The Reds nothing, and the Yankees nothing. Right here in Yankee Stadium, I had my biggest thrill in broadcasting. Doing the perfect game, Don Larson pitched against the Dodgers in the 56 series. The story of that great game is yours to relive in the new Gillette World Series Encyclopedia, which is yours free when you buy the Gillette Adjustable Razor at the regular price of $1.95. This is the handy Gillette Pocket Edition containing the complete text of the new $5 World Series Encyclopedia. 256 pages packed with World Series data. Every fact, figure, and record you're likely to want. As I say, this Gillette book is free with a $1.95 Gillette Adjustable Razor. The razor with 9 different settings. One just right for your combination of skin and beard. With the deal, you get a dispenser of those sensational new Super Blue Blades. For shave so clean and easy, why it invites a look to make sure there's really a blade in your razor. Get the whole works. Gillette Adjustable Razor, Super Blue Blades, plus free World Series Encyclopedia for only $1.95. The price of the razor set alone. The first pitch is ball one. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. The count now is 1-1 to Howard, who flied to center field in the first inning to left center. He's batting in the number 4 slot today, be followed by Skowron and Berra. O'Toole on the mound. No score. We're in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on as a fly ball to deep right field. Post is going back, still racing near the fence. He reaches for it. He can't get it. It's a home run. Elston Howard with a home run was just barely got in over the barrier in right field. Post went reaching in the first couple of rows of seats as he went up against that low 4-foot barrier, but he couldn't quite get it as Elston Howard gets a home run to lead off the bottom half of the 4th, and the Yankees lead 1-0. That ball was sliced to right. Post was racing. He leaned up over the barrier, just couldn't quite get to the ball as it nestled in the seats for a homer. Bill Skowron steps up, takes strike one swinging. Elston Howard with an opposite field homer into the right field seats just a couple of rows in. The pitch to Skowron. Swing and a miss. That's strike two. Bill Skowron walked in the first inning. 2 strikes to count to Bill Skowron. Yankees now lead 1-0 on the Howard homer. And there's a tap going out to the shortstop. Casco's throw will be close for the out. Skowron is out. So there's one away in the bottom of the 4th. Elston Howard with his 5th World Series home run has produced the first run of the afternoon. And the batter now is Yogi Berra. Here's Berra stepping up. One away, bottom of the 4th. O'Toole winds. The pitch is wide for a ball. Ball 1 to Yogi Berra. One away in the bottom of the 4th. Scores 1-0 New York. O'Toole winds, delivers, and it comes in low in the count now. Ball 2. Berra will be followed by Hector Lopez. That hit for New York was the 3rd hit for the Yankees. Howard sliced a home run, a liner into the right field seats. Here's the pitch, and it comes in wide, and the count now is ball 3 to Berra. Yogi Berra at the plate. He popped up on the first inning as O'Toole was bearing down on him with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Berra popped up to Blasingame. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and it's low, and Berra draws a walk, putting a man on first base with one away, and bringing up Hector Lopez. Lopez also lined the ball to right field in the second and post one back just in front of the 344-foot sign for his catch there on the line out. It's an inviting target out there for power hitters for both sides. And as we've seen, right-handers can hit that ball into the right field seats just as well as the left-handers can. Here's Lopez stepping up with Berra on first base and one away. O'Toole looks toward the runner. Now comes in with a pitch, and there's a foul off to the right. Count now, strike 1. One of the numerous photographers covering the series gets that ball. Strike 1 to Hector Lopez. Clete Boyer is on deck. The Reds infield is at double play depth. Score of the ball game, the Yankees 1 and the Reds nothing. In the bottom half of the 4th inning, on Howard's leadoff homer in the bottom half of the 4th. O'Toole pauses. Lopez waits. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Lopez giving that one a big riffle that time as the ball broke low, and the count now strike 2 to Lopez. The outfield is playing Lopez to hit toward right, with the biggest hole for Lopez being in left center field between Robinson and Pinson. Now Lopez waiting with a 2-strike count. Jim O'Toole gets the sign from Johnson. Berra takes a slim lead off the bag. The left-hander set to work, delivers, and there's a foul going over toward the Reds dugout, which is on the third base side, and the count holds at strike 2. O'Toole flips the rosin bag off to the side. What little breeze there was early this afternoon now has just about died down. And a tremendous crowd here at Yankee Stadium in New York witnessing this opening game of the World Series. Yankees hold a 1-0 lead. Ready for that 2-strike pitch now to Lopez. Here it comes, and it's low, and the count now is 1-2. O'Toole likes to keep that ball low. He's working the corners right now against Lopez. Count is 1-2. Jim O'Toole, 24 years old on the mound, comes from Chicago, 6 feet, 190 pounds. Looks in to get the sign now from Johnson with the 1-2 count to Lopez. Berra on first base. And the pitch, foul back against the screen. The count holds at 1-2. O'Toole won 5 for the Reds in 1959, 12 in 1960 before really blossoming forth this year. And the blossoming developed during the second half of the season. He was 8-8 on June 18th, but he finished up strong with 8 wins in a row. A tremendous year, 19-9. Ready for that 1-2 pitch to Lopez. Here it comes. Strike called on the outside corner. Lopez is out. Two away. Berra on first base, and that brings up Boyer, who popped up in his previous appearance. That's strikeout number 2, posted by O'Toole. Boyer now steps in. Berra on first, 2 away. Bottom of the 4th. Score of the ball game. The Yankees 1 and the Reds nothing. Boyer, right-handed batter, stepping in to face the left-hander. They're playing him straight away in the outfield. So look toward first to Berra. Pitch. Swung on. It's a base hit to right field in between Blasingame and Coleman. Berra moves to second, holds there as Post gets the ball to second base. Boyer with a single on the ground to right field, moving Berra to second. Now brings up the pitcher. Whitey Ford has been up once and grounded out. O'Toole rubbing up the ball. Now Whitey Ford steps in. The outfield has moved in on Ford. They're playing very shallow. Robinson, Pinson, and Post. Two are aboard. Two away as Whitey watches a called strike in the outside corner. Berra's on second base, Boyer on first. Howard led off the inning with a home run into the right field seats. Skowron grounded out, then Berra walked, and after Lopez struck out, Boyer singled to right, moving Berra to second. Ford with a one-strike count. O'Toole set, delivers, and it's low, and the count now is 1-1 to Whitey Ford, who bats left. Robinson has moved in a very shallow left field, and Pinson to a shallow center. Post is over toward right center field. And is 1-1 to Ford. O'Toole takes a look back toward second base, then delivers, and Whitey watches one break over for a called strike two. Ball one, strike two. Good breaking pitch by Jim O'Toole, who again steps back off the mound and goes to the rosin bag. Among the fans watching is Mrs. O'Toole. She's here in New York with her husband. 1-2, the count to Ford. The pitch. Swung on, and it's a line drive. It's taken by Casco. Eddie Casco, the brilliant shortstop of the Reds, went moving quickly to his right, leaped, made a one-handed catch to Ralph Ford, and retired the side. Tremendous play by Casco as he leaped for Ford's liner. Ford shaking his head as he went down the first baseline. Totals, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. And at the end of 4 innings, the score, New York 1, Reds nothing.
Paper-made credit card contest winners now leaving for London, Paris, and other world-famous cities.
How would you like to fly anywhere, stay anywhere, dine anywhere, and just sign for it? Never get a bill. Well, the world is yours if you win the Paper-Mate $50,000 credit card contest. You'll fly the finest on TWA Superjets and just sign for it using your TWA Air Travel Card. You'll stay at luxury hotels like the Royal Hawaiian in Honolulu, dine at famous restaurants in Paris or Rome, and just sign for it using your Diners Club card. You'll have a car when you want it with your Hertz Rent-A-Car card. Gas when you need it with your Shell credit card. When it's time to pay, just pull out your Paper-Mate pen and sign for it. Never get a bill. Grand prize is $10,000 in credit or cash, 500 other prizes. Get entry blanks and full contest details now wherever Paper-Mate pens are sold.
Here's the 5th inning coming up in Yankee Stadium. Bob Wolf with Wade Hoyt here as the score of the ball game. The Yankees 1 and Cincinnati nothing. The Yankees 1 run on the home run by Elston Howard. And now one of the home run sluggers of the Reds, Wally Post, leads off. He's been up once against Ford, grounded out. Here comes the pitch, and there's a foul back behind home plate. In 1955, Post walloped 40 homers, still a record for Cincinnati right-handed hitters to shoot out. He was named the Reds' most valuable player that year. He was traded to the Phillies after the 57 season, only to be reclaimed by the Reds in mid-1960. Had 20 homers this past year, many of them tape measure swats. Pitch, swung on and missed. Count now, strike 2 to Post. He followed by Freese and Coleman. We're in the top of the 5th. So far, 1 hit for Cincinnati. That was Casco's single in the first inning. And the Yankees have had 4, including Howard's home run. Here's the next pitch coming in high, and the count now is ball 1, strike 2 to Post. Right-handed batter facing Whitey Ford. The outfield finds Berra playing far back and left. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And there's a line drive to left for a base hit. Berra going over to the line to field the ball. Post holds on at first base as Berra quickly comes up with the ball and throws in toward the second baseman. Fought off by Tony Kubek. Wally Post on with a single. A line shot to left. And they showed good respect for Berra's ability as an outfielder as Yogi went racing to his right in the corner, quickly threw into Kubek, who had gone out for the bag. Post made sort of a hesitant look at Dick Sisler to see whether or not to keep moving, and then decided to get back to first base as he rounded the bag, playing it as a single. And here's Freeze, and there's a foul back for strike one. That's hit number 2 against Whitey Ford, and the first hit since back in the first inning. Gene Freeze, the batter, strike one the count. And Whitey had retired 11 in a row before Wally Post broke the spell with that single. Here's the next pitch, and there's a fly ball going out to left field. Berra backs up. Now he's there and has it. Freeze flies out to Yogi Berra in left as Wally Post returns to first base. Berra got under that one. He's playing over toward left center. But then as he was waiting for it, he backpedaled just a bit. Finally took the ball about 8 feet or so back beyond where he was standing as the ball took off against the bat. Score of the ball game, the Yankees 1, the Reds nothing. And here's Gordy Coleman stepping in. Those went up once and grounded out. Gordy Coleman, 26 home runs this past year. Comes from Rockville, Maryland. 6'2", 200-pounder. Left-handed batter. Post on first, there's one away. Here's the pitch, and it's inside for a ball. Ball one. Ball one to Coleman. 1 out and 1 out on the top of the 5th. Score, Yankees 1, the Reds nothing. The Yankees scored their 1 run on Elston Howard's opposite field home run. Gordy Coleman at the plate now, 27 years old. Attended Duke University briefly. The pitch is a called strike. On the outside corner, the count is 1-1 as Coleman steps out to get some dirt. Coleman steps back in. 1-1 the count. On third, Boyer has moved in just a bit, just off the edge of the infield grass. There's a throw to first base by Ford, but Post did not move from the bag. Wally playing very close. Now edges away from the base. Here's the next pitch, and it comes in wide, and the count now is 2 balls, strike one. Hector Lopez in right field is playing just inches away from that cinder path in front of the seats out there. As Coleman can send that ball a long way. Maris playing slightly to right center for Coleman. And Berra is over in left center field, giving Coleman plenty of that left field line. The 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Coleman took a big cut that time. The count now is 2-2. He swings, falling away, foot in the bucket. Gordy steps out, gets a little more dirt, grips that bat, and steps back in. Count 2-2 to Coleman. Post at first base. Now moves away from the bag. 1 out on this top of the 5th inning. Ford pauses, looks for the runner. The pitch swung on. It's a slow hopper by Ford. Coming in as Richardson up with the ball. Throw to first for the out. Post play at first base as Coleman is out with Post moving on to second. That was a slow hop to the right of the mound. Ford tried to cut it off and couldn't. Richardson had to hustle in to make the pickup on the play. That means there are now 2 down with Post on second, and the batter is Darrell Johnson. And Wally Post on second base is the first Red to attain that spot so far. He's in scoring position with 2 outs, and Darrell Johnson at the plate. Johnson grounded out in the 3rd inning from 3rd to 1st. Batting 8th in the lineup. Pitch swung on. It's a ground ball to the third baseman Boyer, who is going to make the tag of the baseline. And Post rams into him as Boyer makes the tag. A hard tag. Post came in hard as Boyer made the tag for the out. So that retires the side. And in this top of the fifth, no runs, one hit, no errors, and one left. The score at the end of 4.5 innings, New York 1, the Reds nothing. The first half of today's game was brought to you by the Gillette Safety Razor Company. The second half of today's game is brought to you by Chrysler Corporation.
What's the word on the new cars from Chrysler Corporation? What's the word you hear? Simplicity.
And they're simply beautiful.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
Listen for the good word from Chrysler Corporation. During the next few innings, you're going to hear some good news about the live new cars for 62. And you're going to hear how you can win one absolutely free. 180 new cars are being offered as prizes during October Open House. An open invitation to see the new cars with the excitement of simplicity. That's the word on October Open House. And the word for the cars?
Simplicity.
And they're simply beautiful.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
Stay tuned for all the details on the cars and October Open House.
Boyer may have been slightly shaken up around the head area as Post came in hard as the tag was made, as Boyer took it, the grounder, and made the tag on Post coming in toward third base. So we move now to the bottom half of inning number 5. It's my pleasure to bring to the microphone the voice of the Cincinnati Reds, Wade Hoyt.
Thank you, Bob. Bobby Richardson leading off in the bottom of the 5th inning. And O'Toole makes his first pitch. It's an attempted bunt. Foul, strike one. The New York Yankees have 1 run, 4 hits, and 5 men left on. And the Cincinnati Reds, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left on. O'Toole out there pitching a mighty nice ball game. Bobby Richardson has 2 hits and 2 turns. The pitch to him is a push bunt down to Coleman, who grabbed it, and he's out at first base. Tagged out by Coleman, who fielded the ball, made a desperate stab, and just managed to flick his uniform as he went by him. Richardson did try to step around him a little bit, but Coleman followed him. Score 1-0. The Yankees leading with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tony Kubek up there now. He walked in the 1st inning, and he popped up to Casco at shortstop in the 3rd inning, batting left-handed. Freese plays him in. Casco plays a normal short. O'Toole bends, taking his signals. Here he comes with the pitch. It's made and it's low. Ball 1. The outfield plays normally with Robinson playing in a normal left field position. Pinson practically on a dead line from the home plate, and Post is playing a rather normal right field. O'Toole pitch, and there's a ball hit in the air out there in center. Pinson is moving with it, settles under it, has it, and there are 2 away for the Yankees in the 5th inning. The score remains at 1-0. The Yankees leading with 2 out in the 5th. Roger Maris is the batter, and the Yankee home run star, who popped up to Casco in the 1st inning, struck out on the front end of a double play in the 3rd inning. This fellow performed a tremendous feat this season. Tremendous feat. No matter what league he hit 61 home runs in, or when, it's a tremendous feat. Remarkable. The pitch to him now. Maris took a high fastball outside. O'Toole's fastball isn't exactly straight. It moves a little bit in the nature of a slider. Sometimes it deceives right-handed batters very much. He pitches again. Maris took a low one. It was a low curve. That's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0. The Reds are shading Maris slightly right field, knowing that most often he goes for the right field seats. Johnson is down getting the signals. O'Toole twists around. He pitches. The ground ball hit to Coleman, who grabbed it, ran for the bag. Maris is out to Coleman unassisted. So in the 5th inning, New York, no runs, no hits, no on a base. And the Yankees are leading 1-0 going into the top of the 6th inning.
What's the word on the new cars from Chrysler Corporation? What's the word you hear?
Plymouth. That's the word today, Plymouth, the beautiful difference in the low price field. It's full size, right size, and completely new for 62. Plymouth's forward flared design is simplicity itself, from the long tapered hood to the sloping rear deck. Inside, some of the richest fabrics and most beautiful appointments ever to grace a low-priced car. Look at Plymouth now, one of the live new cars from Chrysler Corporation. What's the word for Plymouth?
Simplicity.
And they're simply beautiful.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Plymouth dealer during October open house.
Well, as we go into the sixth inning, we see that this is developing into a pitching duel between the old master out there, Whitey Ford, a tremendously brilliant left-hander, and a young sophomore left-hander who has enjoyed his most prosperous season in the big league so far, O'Toole having won 19 and lost 9, and of course Ford out there with 25 victories and 4 defeats. So far the Yankee pitcher has a bit of an edge, a 1-0 lead going into the top of the sixth. O'Toole coming to bat took the third strike in the third inning. Now O'Toole is not a bad hitter. This fellow's not a bad hitter. He can stroke the ball here and there, and he surprises you. As Ford is making the pitch to O'Toole, that's low outside, ball 1. Strangely, O'Toole switched from a left-handed batting stance to a right-handed batting stance in the earlier part of the year. Ford works again. O'Toole hit a pop fly in the short center, and it's caught by Maris, who charged in, made the catch, and O'Toole is out. The Yankees are leading 1-0 with 1 out in the sixth inning here at the Yankee Stadium. Blasting game coming up. Little Dons has struck out twice so far in the game. The Reds have had no runs and 2 hits. Both singles, as a matter of fact. A single by Casco in the first inning and a single by Post leading off the fifth. So promptly, Cletus Boyer, the third baseman, comes in. He plays blasting game very shallow. Kubek playing at a normal short. Richardson normally second. The ball is bounced down to Richardson, who shifted to his right, fielded a high bounce, and threw blasting game out at first. The ball took a bad hop, but Richardson was alert and reached up and speared it. The Yankees leading 1-0, 2 out in the sixth inning. Top of the sixth, with Eddie Casco coming up. He had a base hit to left field in the first inning. Eddie Casco batting right-handed. The game is moving rapidly. This is a well-pitched game and a well-played game so far. The pitch to Casco. Low inside, ball 1. Casco's in discussion with the umpire. There's an exchange of baseballs. The lights are on again. They were on and then they were off, but now the lights are back on. So Ford working again now. Pitches. Casco took it outside. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0. Playing Eddie straight away. They haven't shifted on him. But Eddie hits to all fields. He'll drill one to right field if he pitch outside. In other words, he hits where the ball is pitched. Ford, there's a ball hit to Richardson, the second baseman, who got it on the first bounce to throw to first, and Casco is out at first. And so in the top of the sixth inning, Cincinnati Reds, no runs, no on the base. And so at the end of 5.5 innings, the score is New York 1 and the Cincinnati Reds 0.
If you haven't seen Plymouth for 62, you're in for quite a surprise. It's completely new for 62, and it's full size, right size. Acceleration is up as much as 11%, but gas consumption is down because the engine doesn't drag around excess weight. Easier maintenance, too. Plymouth goes 32,000 miles between grease jobs, goes twice as far between oil changes as it did last year, can go years without waxing, and Plymouth's new brakes are self-adjusting. Look at Plymouth now, the beautiful difference in the low-price field. one of Chrysler Corporation's live new cars for 62.
And they're simply beautiful.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Plymouth dealer during October open house.
The first game of the World Series is moving into the bottom of the sixth inning. And Elston Howard, the man who put the Yankees out in front with his home run in the fourth inning into the right field seats out there, is the man who is leading off in the sixth inning. Elston Howard, a right-handed batter. He flied out to center in the first inning. He hit his home run in the fourth inning. The Yankees have 1 run and 4 hits. The Cincinnati Reds, no runs and 2 hits. Elston Howard, batting right-handed, turns that left side in, drops the right foot back. The Reds play him straight away in the infield, fairly deep in the outfield. O'Toole is working. The pitch to Howard. He hit a foul back into the upper deck behind the home plate. That's strike 1. The outfield umpires, Crawford in left field and Bob Stewart of the American League in right field, are not so deep along the lines as they possibly will be in Cincinnati. The box seats cut in on a tangent here into the foul lines. The next pitch, Howard moved away as he took it for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a pitch inside. Ed Runge of the American League is behind the home plate. Jocko Conlon of the National League is umpiring at first. Frank Umon of the American League at second, and Donatelli at third. There's a ball hit in the center, and Pinson is with it, going back with it, and Mayday speared it. Now, he speared the ball one-handed, going deep in the center, and I must say that Pinson was a little deceived on the camouflage. See, there's no sun out today and no shadows, and it's what I was saying last night to a bunch of the fellows. It isn't the shadows here at the Yankee Stadium that bothers fielders. I've been in the 6 World Series here, and I know that pretty well. It's the camouflage of the ball coming out of the crowd, out of the caverns of the grandstand, you might say, that puzzles visiting outfielders here for the first time. The pitch to Skowron. He hit the first ball hard out in the left, and there goes a home run into the left field seats and deep in the left field. About 400 feet away. That was about a 400-foot homer for Skowron, who hit the first pitch with 1 out in the 6th inning, bringing the score to the Yankees 2 and the Cincinnati Reds nothing. For Skowron, that is his 7th World Series home run. In 25 games, Skowron is playing his 25th World Series game, and that was his 7th homer. Yogi Berra up now with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch is high, ball 1. The Yankees are leading the Cincinnati Reds 2-0. Both runs, home runs. That ball was well propelled, I should say, that one, the one that Skowron hit. Berra hit a foul. He sliced it against the box seats over to the left. One ball, 1 strike, 1-1 on Yogi. Of course, every time Yogi blinks an eyelid, it's practically a record here. The Yankees are leading 2-0 with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. O'Toole delivers again. The curve is taken low, and that's 2 balls and a strike. 2-1. Yogi holds 11 World Series records. There are almost too many to enumerate right at this point, but there are enough of them. The throw to the plate now. Yogi hit a fly ball out in short right, and Blasingame is going back with it. Caught it back in short right field, and Berra becomes the 2nd out for the Yankees in the 6th inning. The Yankees are leading in the ball game 2-0 with 2 out in the 6th. And Hector Lopez, the right fielder, is the batter. Right-handed batter. Lopez flied out to right in the 2nd inning, and he took the 3rd strike in the 4th inning. He pitched Nando Lopez, little inside low, ball one. O'Toole in action again. He pitches. Ball two. That's low as O'Toole got that one down below his knees. So it's 2-0. The Reds are playing Lopez straight away. The guide man, of course, is Pinson in center pretty much. He plays him almost on a dead line from the home plate. As O'Toole is checking with Johnson, pitching now, strike one call, 2-1. Freeze is back playing a deep third with 2 out. Casco a fairly deep shortstop. The Yankees are leading 2-0, 2 out in the 6th inning. As O'Toole fires again, that's too low, and it's ball 3, 3-1. So Howard is looking at Corsetti, the third base coach, to get instructions. Shall he hit or take on this one? 3-1 count. With O'Toole pitching again, that's outside low, and that is ball 4. That's O'Toole's 4th base on balls, by the way. So Lopez is on first, and Cletus Boyer up. He's single to right field in the 4th inning. The first base coach is Wally Moses, who was the Cincinnati Reds batting coach in 1960. He came from the Reds over to the Yankees. Cletus Boyer batting right-handed. O'Toole hesitates. Now he pitches. There's a high foul. That's up on the roof over there to the left. Out of play. This fellow, of course, is the brother of the St. Louis Cardinal third baseman, Ken Boyer. Boyer, one of the finest athletes in baseball of all descriptions. Can run, throw, field, hit. So it's a very athletic family. O'Toole is checking his man on first. Now he pitches the plate. There's a ball hit high in the air out of deep left center. Pinson is running with it. Pinson goes. Made the catch in deep left center field. A very fine catch, and the Yankees are out in the 6th inning. And so at the end of the 6th inning, the score is the New York Yankees 2 and the Cincinnati Reds nothing.
Say, how lucky do you feel right now? Well, you may be luckier than you think. Chrysler Corporation is offering 180 brand new cars free during October open house, and one of them may be yours. It's an open invitation to see the new cars and sign up to win one. If you own a car, any make or model, any year, you could be one of the lucky winners. To qualify, all you have to do is come in and register with any authorized dealer who sells Plymouth, Valiant, Dodge, Lancer, Chrysler, or Imperial. That's all there is to it, but remember, you have to register by October 31st. Visit your dealer during October open house. Why not tonight? You may win a brand new 62 car from Chrysler Corporation. Free car offer void in Nebraska, Wisconsin, Florida, Canada, and wherever else prohibited by law.
We'll pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Are you mixing with the best? Saratoga Vichy with the yellow label. It outsells all the rest. The genuine Vichy with the yellow label. Tastes better tonight. Feel better tomorrow. Saratoga with the yellow label.
It's a hit in any man's league. That's Saratoga Vichy. Look for the yellow label that marks the champion, Saratoga Vichy. WGY Schenectady.
Is leading off in the 7th inning as the first game of the World Series moves into the 7th inning. Somebody down in left field threw a hat out on the field. We had to wait for an officer to get the hat off. The Yankees have 2 runs, 5 hits, 6 men left on. The Cincinnati Reds, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left on. So Veda Pinson is leading off in the 7th inning. He's been up twice, no hits. Veda hit a foul ball on the upper deck over there alongside of third. In the 1st inning, Veda flied out to center field. He hit a ball pretty well, but Roger Maris went back and made the catch. And then in the 4th inning, Veda bounced out second to first. Roger Maris is playing center field in the absence of Mickey Mantle. Of course, Mickey is on the shelf now. His his hip was still bothering him, and he took some early batting practice today, but it hurt him, so he thought he'd better not play. At least they did. 1 strike on Pinson. The pitch to him now is a little inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, one of each. 1-1 on Beta. So Ford delivers again, and Pinson hit a pop-up down there by first base. Skowron moved off to his right, made the catch, and Pinson is out. Bringing up Frankie Robinson. Robinson, the Reds' power hitter, has been up twice, and Frankie's been that unfortunate as to strike out twice. The score is 2-0 with the Yankees leading. And there's 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Cletus Boyer, the third baseman, is over talking to Whitey Ford. At one stretch in this ball game, Ford retired 11 straight batters. Then Post singled, and since Post singled, leading off the 5th, he's retired 7 more straight. Now the pitch to Robinson. Robinson took strike 1 call. So in other words, Ford has retired the last 18 out of 19 batters. The pitch to Robinson. Robinson took it low inside, and that's ball 1 and strike 1. Play Robinson deep in the infield. Maris is not playing Robinson too deep in the outfield. That's a high one, and that's ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 on Robinson. Quebec has shifted slightly over toward third, a step or two, with the pitcher in the hole. As Ford is working again, Robinson hit a a line drive foul that hit the box seats alongside of third and then rolled into the outfield. A 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2-2. Well, that was a dangerous one. That was a terrifically hard hit. So 7th inning, 1 out. The Yankees are leading the Cincinnati Reds 2-0. This is the top of the 7th. Howard down holding that target for his pitcher now as Whitey Ford fires. Robinson hit a foul. That's in the upper deck just above us. A 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2-2. Ford is pitching with his, to this point at least, with his usual World Series brilliance. Last year he pitched 2 shutouts against the Pirates, and he's continued his shutout pitching so far today in 6 1/3 innings as the Yankees are leading the Reds 2-0 with Robinson up 1 out, the top of the 7th, as Ford is working again. That's much too high, and that's 3 balls and 2 strikes. I think Whitey turned loose with that one, just with a tremendous power pitch, hoping possibly that Robinson would go after a high one and possibly take a cut at a bad ball. But Robinson laid off it, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. And very often it's called a waste pitch. In other words, you deliberately pitch one up there, although with the count of 2-2, it seemed a little bit high for a deliberate waste pitch. I don't think Whitey would get himself in a hole. 3-2. So Ford has taken the signs from Howard now. As the pitch is made again, Robinson laid off it for ball 4. He started to swing. Now that he started, that's the first base on balls, by the way, by Whitey Ford. Now, the folks thought that Robinson swung, but you see Robinson retracts a bat very fast. He has very fast wrists, and he starts to swing, and he will move the bat with wrist-wise, but still he manages to lay off, and it causes occasionally in the National League some controversy. So Robinson is on first, and that's but the third Cincinnati batter to reach base. Casco single in the first, Post single in the 5th. Robinson has walked in the 7th for Ford's first base on ball. Post up now. Post grounded a foul, rolling it over into the Reds bench off there to the left, and that is strike one. The New York Yankees are leading the Cincinnati Reds 2-0 with one out in the top of the seventh inning here at Yankee Stadium, and Frankie Robinson on first base. Post at the plate represents the tying run. This fellow, when he hits, can drive a tremendously long ball. I've seen him hit some stupendous home runs. He pitched to post outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1. Boyer, the third baseman, is playing a very deep third. Ford pitches now, post, hit a ground ball to the third baseman, and the man is out at second base. Robinson slid in, but he was called out as Boyer's throw to Richardson almost pulled the little second baseman off the bag. But he managed to retain possession of the bag with his foot. Robinson was called out at second on the forced play, and Post is on first. The play went from Boyer at third to Richardson at second. So the Yankees continue to lead 2-0 with 2 out in the top of the seventh inning, and Post on first base. The batter will be Gene Freese. Freese likes to joke about the long foul balls he hits. You know, he hits some tremendous fouls, long ones, especially at Crosley Field in Cincinnati, and he says if all those were home runs, he'd be the champion home run hitter. The pitch to him, he grounded foul outside of third base, rolled down into the left field territory, and it's strike one. No balls, 1 strike. Freese at bat, 2 out in the seventh. And the Yankees leading 2-0. You have to wait for Berra to get back in a position. The ball rolled out into the playing field. No balls, 1 strike. Whitey Ford hesitating. Now he pitches. That's outside low. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 of each. Ford delivers. That's strike 2. He caught the outside edge with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ford pitches again. There's a high fly ball back at shortstop in the short left center. Quebec is moving back under it, has it, and the Cincinnati Reds are out in the top of the seventh inning. In the seventh, the Reds no runs, no hits, a man left on. And so at the end of 6.5 innings, the score is the New York Yankees 2, the Cincinnati Reds nothing.
All live car. That's Plymouth for 62. The exciting simplicity of all live car. Put your foot down. Your Plymouth moves out eagerly, surges up to cruising speed as much as 11% faster. Yet you'll get many more miles between gas ups because the engine doesn't drag around excess weight. Performance up, gas consumption down. That's Plymouth. Full size, right size, and completely new for 62. Plymouth for 62 brings you new forward flare design. The emphasis is up front at the business end of the car. Look at Plymouth now, the beautiful difference in the low price field. One of the live new cars from Chrysler Corporation.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Plymouth dealer during October open house.
Whitey Ford will be the first batter in the bottom of the seventh inning, followed by Bobby Richardson and then Tony Quebec. Jim O'Toole has been pitching fine ball for the Cincinnati Reds so far. The two runs the Yankees have scored have been home runs. One by Elston Howard, leading off in the fourth inning, and one by Bill Skowron with 1 out in the sixth inning. Otherwise, O'Toole has been very good. O'Toole in action now. He pitches, and that's a curveball over for strike 1 on Whitey Ford. This is the bottom of the 7th inning, the first man at bat, and the Yankees are leading 2-0. 1 strike on Whitey Ford. As O'Toole delivers again, that's a curveball that hit the ground and bounced to the rear of the catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just much too low. One. O'Toole fires again. There's a ground ball hit down a Blasingame, who fielded the ball. Threw Whitey Ford out at first. There's 1 away in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bobby Richardson up now. He's had 2 hits in 3 turns. He's had singles in the first and again in the third. And he hit back to Coleman on the big bounce in the 5th inning. So O'Toole now pitching to Richardson. The throw to him. He took strike 1. That's right down the middle, right in the middle. Playing him straight away. His single in the first inning was a line drive in the dead center. O'Toole working. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. O'Toole in action. Ball hit for a single in between short and third, and that's Richardson's 3rd hit. The Yankees are leading the Cincinnati Reds 2-0 with 1 man out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Richardson on first. Tony Kubek up at the plate. Kubek walked in the first inning. He popped up to shortstop in the 3rd. He flied out to center field in the 5th. Flied out to Veda Pinson. And that is the Yankees' 6th hit. They've had 2 runs and 6 hits so far. So far in the game, the Reds have had no runs and 2 hits. As O'Toole pitched to Kubek, that's low outside. Ball 1. Kubek is very deceptive. Usually you picture shortstops and being rather diminutive fellows, or not too tall at any rate. Kubek is over 6 feet. O'Toole hesitates. He pitches. Kubek took a low curve, and that's 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0. So Kubek has O'Toole in a 2-0 hole. Richardson on first. 1 away, bottom of the 7th. The Yankees leading 2-0. And this is the time the Yankees could put on some type of a play if they wanted to. Strike 1 call, but they didn't. The probable pitches for tomorrow: Joey J. for the Cincinnati Reds, Ralph Terry for the Yankees. O'Toole goes again, and the pitch is taken low, and that's ball 3. 3-1 on Kubek. The Yankees leading 2-0. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. The Yanks have a man on. O'Toole lets fly. The pitch is hit foul. Hit against the upper deck. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Freese is playing just, even with the third base bag. He hasn't moved back much. Casco is playing more or less a step inward, as somebody must get to second base, and if the ball is hit on the ground, as they would hope to execute a double play. O'Toole delivers. There's a ball hit in the air in right field. Wally Post is moving under it. Wally moved into position, made the catch, and there are 2 away in the 7th inning for the Yankees. Richardson is on first base, and this brings up Roger Maris. The Yankees are are leading 2-0 with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Yankees have 2 runs and 6 hits. The Reds no runs and 2 hits. Maris has popped up in the 1st inning. He struck out in the 3rd inning in a play which resulted in a double play. And he was out to Coleman unassisted in the 5th inning. So the Reds have shifted slightly to right field. Casco's gone over towards second now. As he pitched to Maris, Maris hit a high fly ball up to the left of the plate. Darrell Johnson is under it, has it, and Maris is fouled out to the catcher. And so in the 7th inning, the Yankees no runs, 1 hit, a man left on. The Yankees are leading. And so at the 7th inning, the score, the Yankees 2 and the Cincinnati Reds nothing.
You know, the only thing more exciting than the World Series is your first look at the new cars. And this year, Chrysler Corporation makes it more exciting than ever. 180 brand new cars are offered free during October open house. One of them could be yours. 30 Imperials, 30 Chryslers, 30 Dodge Darts, 30 Lancers, 30 Plymouths, and 30 Valiants. If you own a car, any make or model, any year, all you have to do to qualify is stop in and register with any authorized Plymouth, Valiant, Dodge, Lancer, Chrysler, or Imperial dealer. But this is important. You must register during October open house, and that ends October 31st. Why not see your dealer tonight? Free car offer void in Nebraska, Wisconsin, Florida, Canada, and wherever else prohibited by law.
7 men left on base and no errors. The Cincinnati Reds have no runs, 2 hits, 3 men left on base and no errors. And Gordy Coleman will lead off for the Reds in the top of the 8th inning. He'll be followed by Darrell Johnson, and then very possibly, although there are 1 or 2 Reds pitchers warming up in the bullpen, and possibly a pinch hitter for O'Toole. Although the Reds pitchers down in the bullpen way down in left field beyond the 402-foot mark are out of sight, so we can't see them. I mean, we don't know who's warming up. So Gordy Coleman now leading off in the top of the 8th inning here at Yankee Stadium. As Whitey Ford makes his pitch, Coleman took a curve, a sidearm curve for strike 1. Coleman grounded out in the 2nd inning and again in the 5th inning. Strike 2 as Coleman chased the curveball. So far in the ball game, only 24 men have faced Ford in 7 innings. No balls, 2 strikes. As Ford cut loose again, that's outside. That was a sort of a sidearm underhand slider, a curve that he pitched way high outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Yankees leading 2-0 with no one out on the top of the 8th inning. That's a little high outside as Ford tried to jam the fastball by him. Got it by him all right, but it was called a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2-2. The left-hander pitches. There's a ball bounced over his head, but Kubek has it back at second to throw to first, and Coleman is out at first base. Kubek received that ball directly behind the second base bag. A high bouncing ball. Darrell Johnson up now. Now wait a minute, we have Leo Cardenas coming to the plate.
Number 16,
Chico Cardenas is stepping to the plate. Cardenas is batting .308. The pitch to him, strike 1 call. He stepped to the plate .308. He's had 5 home runs this season. He's batted in 24 runs for the Reds. A right-handed batter, Chico Cardenas batting for the catcher Darrell Johnson. There's a foul. That's in the upper deck over here to the right. Jerry Lynch is on deck. New York Yankees are leading the Cincinnati Reds 2-0 with one out in the top of the 8th inning. So there's an exchange of baseballs down there now as the umpire is preparing a different ball. Cincinnati Reds, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Yankees, 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Another pitch is hit foul as Ford got it high. Cardenas chased the ball and hit it against the roof. No balls, 2 strikes, 0-2 on Cardenas. That's high and that's ball 1. That was a high fastball. Elston Howard down giving the signs. They're playing Cardenas dead left field. The pitch to him. He hit foul. He hit late at the pitch, and he drove it over into the grandstand over the Yankee bench over to the right. The Reds are sitting on the left side of the field between third and home, and the Yankees on the right side between first and home. This has been rather a dull day here insofar as weather has been concerned, and the lights have been on since very early in the ball game. Ford took a look around at these infield and outfield now to see where they're playing. Taking the sign from Howard, and Cardenas now wants the rosin back. The score is 2-0. The Yankees are leading 2-0. One out in the 8th inning. No one on base for Cincinnati. Shook the catcher off, then got the signal he wanted. Pitch, and Cardenas took a swing. He missed, and that is the 6th strikeout for Whitey Ford. This will bring to the plate Jerry Lynch. No, correction on that. They have substituted. Lynch was out in the batting circle, and now they are substituting Gurnett. Lynch was not announced. His name was not mentioned, so Gurnett will be the batter now. And Gurnett has been in this stadium before, as he was once with the Boston Red Sox and the Detroit Tigers. Gurnett this season in 40 games batted .302. Occasionally he was platooned with Coleman against left-handed pitching. So it's Dick Gurnett up there now. The Yankees are leading 2-0, 2 out in the top of the 8th inning. Pitch to Gurnett is inside. Ball 1. They play him very deep in the infield. They move all the way back, all the way around. 2 out in the 8th inning. The Yankees are leading 2-0. There are no Cincinnati runners on base. As Ford delivers again, that's a little low outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Gernett's been watching the third base coach, Otero, for the hitter take sign. Louis Arroyo, the great relief pitcher for the New York Yankees, has been warming up in the Yankee bullpen. He's been keeping ready down there. So Ford pitches again now, and that is ball 3 as he got it down low. 3-0. There's been a lot of activity in the Cincinnati bullpen, but as I say, we can't see beyond the grandstand down in left field there. Another pitch. Strike 1 call. Ford got it in there. Ford has walked with 1 man today. O'Toole gave a very fine account of himself, I thought, in this ball game. He permitted 2 runs and 6 hits. 2 of them were home runs, and that's what put the Yankees ahead. Another pitch. Strike 2. Gurnett puts the next one. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 3-2. delivering. Gurnett counted a ground foul down to the third base post. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Score 2-0. The Yankees leading. 2 out in the 8th. Yogi Berra in left field is playing fairly deep, but Yogi hasn't shifted a great deal on Gurnett. Maris in center field is playing in a normal center field. The throw to Gurnett now. He hit a ball that Boyer stopped. One of the really fine, great plays in World Series. There was a great stop by the third baseman. Boyer dove to his left, stopped the ball, jumped to his feet, and threw Gurnett out at first. And so, at the end of 7.5 innings, the score is the New York Yankees 2, the Cincinnati Reds nothing.
What's the good word? Valiant for 1962. Style and performance leader of the compacts all over again. In Get Up and Go, Valiant is way out ahead of all other low-priced compacts. For 62, performance is up as much as 6%, with more improvement in gas economy, too. In ride and handling, nobody beats Valiant. With Torsionaire ride and new, quieter engine mounts, Valiant takes roads like a limousine, but still keeps the cornering and handling ease of a compact. Expensive? Not on your life. Valiant is priced several $100s less than many other compacts. Nobody beats Valiant for value. Valiant from Chrysler Corporation.
Looks like it's gonna be a nice year.
See your Valiant dealer during October open house.
The New York Yankees are leading the Cincinnati Reds 2-0 at the end of 7.5 innings. We'll pause here 30 seconds for station identification.
Are you mixing with the best? Saratoga Vichy with the yellow label. It outsells all the rest. The genuine Vichy with the yellow label. Tastes better tonight. Feel better tomorrow. Saratoga with the yellow label.
For true excitement, you can't beat the World Series, and for the true excitement of a perfect mixer, you can't beat Saratoga Vichy. WGY, WGFM, Schenectady.
Well, the Cincinnati Reds have a new battery in there now. Jim Brosnan, Brosnan. Jim Brosnan pitching for the Cincinnati Reds in the 8th inning, and Jerry Zimmerman catching. Jerry Zimmerman catching will bat 8th, and Brosnan will bat 9th. Brosnan was in 53 games for the Reds this season. He won 10, he lost 4. He had an earned run average of 3.04. Won 10 and lost 4. And the batter now is Elston Howard as Brosnan pitches, and the pitch is low outside. Ball 1 ball. No strikes. The score is 2-0. The Yankees leading the Reds as the bottom of the 8th inning comes up. Howard hit the home run in the 4th inning. Ball is hit in the ground. Casco shot to his left field of the ball. Got rid of it, and Howard is out at first base. This will bring up Bill Skowron, and Skowron hit a home run in the 6th inning. He was the second man up in the 6th. He hit a home run to put the Yankees out in front 2-0. And so far, Whitey Ford has made the lead stand up. The Yankees are leading 2-0 with 1 out in the 8th. The pitch is low outside. Ball 1. Brosnan in action. Fires. The ball hit foul. Down in right field, the ball disappeared in the upper deck. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1 on Skowron. He walked in the 1st inning. Casco, the shortstop, threw him out in the 4th inning, and then he homered in the 6th inning. And that is strike 2 as Brosnan threw his slider on the inside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1-2. Brosnan fired again, and strike 3. He struck him out with that slider. While O'Toole was pitching, he walked 4 and struck out 2. The score is 2-0. The New York Yankees are leading the Reds, with the Reds batting in the top of the 8th inning. The Yankees batting in the bottom of the 8th inning. Yogi Berra is the batter. Yogi He's been out twice, and he walked once. Now, Brosnan throws a slider, you know. He depends mainly on the slider. Yogi took a pitch low inside. Ball one. The official paid attendance here today at Yankee Stadium, 62,397. Officially paid 62,397 persons. That's the crowd today. The pitch to Yogi, high outside, and that's ball two. The first one was a low pitch, the second one high outside. Right at this point in the ball game, there are two Yankees out on the bottom of the eighth inning, and the Yankees have 2 runs and 6 hits. The Reds no runs and 2 hits. That's ball 3 as Brosnan got it downstairs, very low. 3-0. Tomorrow's pitchers, Jay for the Reds and Terry for the Yankees. 2 right-handers. Strike one as Brosnan threw his slider in there that time on the 3-ball no-count strike. He continued with that slider. Brosnan ready to go again. Well, he started his windup, then he stepped back. Here he goes. Strike 2 as that's on the inside edge, and Berra moved away. Questioned the call. Of course, the umpire down there is in a much better position of advantage. Another pitch. Yogi took it low. It's ball 4, and he's on his way to first base. Now we're waiting. There may be a pinch hitter here. Blanchard is going to bat, I believe. Johnny Blanchard is going to bat. And Johnny Blanchard, of course, has been a tremendous force in the attack of the New York Yankees all season. Blanchard is batting .305. He was in 93 games, batted .305 with 21 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Johnny Blanchard, and he's a left-handed batter. He's batting in place of Hector Lopez. The pitch to him, Johnny missed for strike 1. Eighth inning, the Yankees are leading 2-0. 2 out for the Yanks. The pitch to Blanchard is low. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1. 1-1 on this man. He stands to the rear of the plate a bit. Takes the bat down on the end, as most of them do. Brosnan's checking Berra on first. Now he pitches. There's a foul. That's up into the grandstand just above us. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1-2. The shortstop has moved over almost behind second. Once again, the official paid attendance here today at Yankee Stadium for the first game of the 1961 World Series, 62,397. Brosnan fires. There's a high fly ball up by second base, and Blassingame moved over towards second. Under it has it. And the Yankees are out in the bottom of the 8th inning. In that inning, no runs, no hits, and a man left on. And at the end of 8 innings, the New York Yankees are leading 2-0.
What's the word on the new cars from Chrysler Corporation? What's the word you hear?
Valiant, this year featuring the new Signet 200, America's lowest priced hardtop with bucket seats. The bucket seats are king-size, set in a new choice of interiors that are as rugged as they are sporty-looking, right down to the deep pile carpeting. And unlike most low-price compacts, Valiant for 62 offers a full 3-speed automatic transmission. With its performance, comfort, and economy features, plus top resale value, nobody beats Valiant for value in 1962. Valiant from Chrysler Corporation.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
See your Valiant dealer during October open house.
Well, there's been a defensive switch for the New York Yankees as Roger Maris has been moved into his old spot at right field, and Jack Reed, R-E-E-D, is playing in center field in the top of the ninth inning.
Number 24, Jerry Lynch.
Jerry Lynch is batting for Blassingame. Now, Lynch, in 96 games, batted 315. He had 13 home runs and 50 runs batted in. He had 5 pinch hit home runs and came within 1 home run of tying Johnny Frederick's record for pinch hit home runs. He took a swing at the first curve, popped it in the air out there behind third, and Boyer went back and caught the ball, and Lynch is out. 1 away in the top of the ninth inning for the Cincinnati Reds. The New York Yankees are leading the Cincinnati Reds 2-0 with 1 out in the top of the ninth. This will bring up Eddie Casco, who has one of the Reds' 2 hits. So far in the ball game, Whitey Ford has virtually shut the door on the faces of the Reds. They've had 2 hits, one in the first by Casco, who is at bat presently, and one in the 5th inning by Post. The pitch is strike 1 as Ford got that pitch in there, a called strike. Took another one. No balls, 2 strikes. One out in the top of the ninth inning. The Yankees are leading 2-0. That's low outside. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That pitch hit the ground. 1 and 2 on Casco. The infield's playing Eddie straight away. Fairly deep. With Ford in action again. He pitches. Casco hit a foul, a high bouncer about a foot outside of third, and Boyer went out after it and stopped it. There have been 2 fielding gems by the Yankees today. 2 by Boyer, as a matter of fact. 1 on Freeze in the 2nd inning. He made a tremendous play on Freeze in the 2nd, and an even better play on Gurnett in the 8th inning. Another pitch to Eddie. Eddie fouled the ball. He hit the ball against himself, you might say. It rolled out toward the pitcher's box, and Howard went out to get it. So the Yankees are leading 2-0 with 1 out in the ninth. The Yankees have 2 runs and 6 hits. The Reds no runs and 2 hits. Up there, waiting for Whitey. Whitey is in action again. He pitches. Casco grounded a foul against the box seats alongside of third. Joey J to pitch tomorrow for Cincinnati, the right-handed curveball artist, and Ralph Terry is scheduled to pitch for the Yankees tomorrow. So it'll be a duel of right-handers tomorrow. This has been a duel of left-handers. And Whitey Ford, of course, has had the best of it, but O'Toole has pitched a fine ball game. The Reds didn't get any runs for him so far in the ball game, at any rate. As Ford fires again, and Casco took it high. That's ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 and 2. Whenever you hold a club like the Yankees to 2 runs, you've been doing a real fine job, and O'Toole did that. Ford pitches again. Casco hit a foul. That's into the grandstand over there back of the Yankee bench. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Another throw. Casco grounded a slow ball down to the shortstop. Kubek moved in, grabbed it, got rid of it, and Casco's out at first. 2 away in the top of the ninth inning, and the New York Yankees are leading the Reds 2-0. Babe Ruth is the batter.
Have reached their dugout.
Veda missed, and that's strike one. Whitey Ford pitching again. Strike two. Veda went after a high curve. No balls. 2 strikes. Veda hit a high fly ball back of second. Kubek is moving into the outfield. The game is over, and Whitey Ford has pitched a 2-hit shutout. And the final score is the New York Yankees, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Cincinnati Reds, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. In a moment, we'll review the highlights of the game for you.
Don't miss your chance to win a brand new 62 Chrysler Corporation car. Stop in at your dealers now and sign up to win one during October open house. Plymouth, Valiant, Dodge Dart, Lancers, Chryslers, Imperials. 180 brand new cars are offered free, and one of them may be yours. If you own a car, any make or model, any year, all you have to do to qualify is come in, see the complete rules, and register with any authorized dealer who sells Plymouth, Valiant, Dodge, Lancer, Chrysler, or Imperial. That's all there is to it. And you may win one of 180 beautiful 1962 Chrysler Corporation cars. But be sure to register at your dealers by October 31st. You can't win unless you do. Free car offer void in Nebraska, Wisconsin, Florida, Canada, and wherever else prohibited by law.
Looks like it's gonna be a Chrysler year.
And now here is Bob Wolf with the highlights of the game.
The Yankees this afternoon used their favorite weapon, perhaps you could say 2 weapons. The pitching of Whitey Ford, who certainly has been their ace right throughout this season, as he has in previous years, and the home runs of the Yankees have made famous this year and in previous years. This year, the Yankees led both leagues with 240 homers, a record for one season. And this afternoon, they again used the home runs to back up Whitey Ford. Elston Howard had a home run this afternoon in the 4th inning, going into the right field seats, and Bill Skowron hit one in the 6th, going deep in the left field seats for the 2 Yankee runs this afternoon. And those 2 home runs were the difference today, as both sides exhibited sterling defense and great pitching. O'Toole came out as the losing pitcher, and Whitey Ford as the winner. Ford's performance this afternoon was superlative. Not to take anything away from that pitch by O'Toole, who was backed up by Brosnan. Whitey, you may recall, last year in the World Series had 2 shutouts. Apparently he enjoys the habit because he again pitched a shutout this afternoon and pitched a 2-hitter. And by the way, my broadcasting colleague right here, Wade Hoyt, had a 2-hit shutout way back in 1921. Now, I'm sure this game today certainly brought back memories of that one. So Whitey Ford has now had 3 straight shutouts. And this afternoon, there were only 3 outfield putouts behind him with the Yankee defense. At one stage of the game, Whitey got 11 men in a row. He struck out 6 men, and he walked but 1, exhibiting just tremendous control. The home run by Elston Howard was his 5th in World Series competition. The home run by Bill Skowron was his 7th. Tomorrow on the pitching mound, Joey J will be going against Ralph Terry as 2 right-handers take over in the 2nd game of the series. And if the 2nd game shows defense and great pitching like the first, we're in for a lot of thrills on the morrow. On the defensive side this afternoon, New York had some great fielding plays as Clete Boyer came up on one on Freeze in the 2nd inning of the ball game. And then the really headline play of the afternoon was pulled by Boyer on Gernert in the 8th when he made a dive, came up with the ball, and threw off his knees to first base to retire Gernert. On the Cincinnati side of the ledger in defense, Casco came up with a brilliant leap, catching a line drive, hit off Whitey Ford's bat with 2 aboard in the 4th inning and 2 away. And also Veda Pinson showed his tremendous speed in the outfield. He made a fine catch on Boyer in the 8th inning of the ball game. make that the sixth inning of the ball game, and also got one on Elston Howard. So all in all, we saw a great defensive effort by Pinson as well as the other Cincinnati Reds. So that's the story this afternoon, with Whitey Ford pitching the shutout. And the final totals, the Yankees 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. 3 of the Yankees' 6 hits made by Bobby Richardson, who also had 3 hits in one of the World Series games last year. And for the Cincinnati Reds, there were no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And the final score, once again, the Yankees 2 and the Reds nothing. Well, that wraps up the first 1961 World Series game. Our engineer was Harry Alexander. Our producer was Len Dillon. Now this is Bob Wolf speaking for Wade Hoyt and inviting you to be with us again tomorrow for the second game of the World Series, when your host, as today, again will be the Chrysler Corporation, serving America's new quest for quality, and the Gillette Safety Razor Company, world leader in shaving. This has been an NBC Radio Network production.
Mel Allen and Lindsey Nelson cover the world of sports on Monitor 61, weekends on NBC.
Are you mixing with the best? Saratoga Vichy with the yellow label, it outsells all the rest. The genuine Vichy with the yellow label tastes better tonight, feel better tomorrow. Saratoga with the yellow label.
Hope you've enjoyed the game. Know you'll enjoy Saratoga Vichy. Make sure you're mixing with the best. Saratoga Vichy. This is WGY 810 on your radio dial, WGFM Schenectady.
This is WGY, WGFM Schenectady.
They give you a floor show. Down in the aisles down there, a couple of ladies were giving a little, I don't know who the choreographer is for the Cincinnati Reds. They were giving a little Charleston down there. I think the choreographer, well, I don't know just who. I think his name is Bonnie Rapp. I'm not sure, but he has 5 bands going here today, all Cincinnati bands, and they really put it on here in Cincinnati. There's no doubt about that. All right, Gordy Coleman up there now. Coleman, batting left-handed, has been to the plate 12 times with 4 hits. He's batting .333. He's the leading Cincinnati batter in the series so far. That is among the regulars. And during the season, he batted .287 with 26 homers, 87 runs batted in. In the series so far, he has 1 home run and 4 runs batted in. As Whitey Ford pitches to Coleman, there's a high pitch inside that got away from Whitey. It's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Coleman at the plate. This could be a history-making inning, this inning. If Ford shuts the Reds out in this inning, he will establish a World Series record. Ford working again now, ready to pitch. He does. There's a ball grounded. A 2-bouncer down to the second base in the field of the ball and threw Coleman out at first. 1 up, 1 away for the Reds in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The score is 0-0. The New York Yankees, no runs and 1 hit. The Cincinnati Reds, no runs and no hits. 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Darrell Johnson is the batter. Johnson, batting right-handed. He's been up to the plate twice in this series. He's had no hits, and of course he's had no runs batted in. So Whitey Ford taking the sign from Elston Howard. They played Johnson slightly left field. With Ford in action now as he pitched to Johnson over the plate. Strike 1. Of course, Johnson used to warm Ford up a few years ago. Johnson was the bullpen catcher for the Yankees a few years ago. And Ford working again, throws. There's a high curve, and that's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1-1. Of course, Ford relies on a great many things. He's got a world of stuff of different assortments. Slider, curveball, fastball, change of pace. He pitched to Johnson now. He laid out in left field, and he dropped it in there for a single. A base hit for Johnson. That's the first Cincinnati hit, the first Cincinnati batter. And that came with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. First Cincinnati batter to reach base. That came with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. O'Toole will come up now. And once again, the bugler here, as the Duke plays charge. So O'Toole is coming to the plate. No score in the game, a 0-0 ball game. Both teams are fighting for the break. Both teams are anxiously waiting for the open door here, you might say. O'Toole is taking a couple of practice swings outside the batter's box. The third baseman Boyer is playing in now, much in the same manner that Freese played in when Ford was at the plate in that last inning. One out now. So Ford ready to pitch to O'Toole. Hesitates, throws. There's a foul bunt that rolled to the backstop. Strike one. And they score 0-0. It's one out in the bottom of the third inning. No balls and a strike on O'Toole. He's still up there, batting right-handed. You know, earlier this season, he started out as a left-handed batter. He switched. The pitch is to first base, throw is to first. And of course, Ford has a great pickoff motion, and it darn near fooled Skowron that time, who started in for the plate on the bunt and had to quickly backtrack to get the throw from Ford. No balls, one strike. Of course, Ford's always dangerous, and there's another throw to first, and again Skowron managed to clutch the ball as he had to dash back and grab it, the throw backhanded. So now over comes Clete Boyer to talk to Ford. However, that is nothing, I wouldn't say that's nothing new. Skowron has been doing that with Ford all season long and for, I guess, years past. So they know each other pretty well. Now the throw to O'Toole. O'Toole bounced the ball down to the shortstop. Slowly the throw is to second base, and Johnson is fourth to second base. Kubeck to Richards. And O'Toole is on first base. It was a slow hit ball, and there was no possibility whatsoever of a double play. So O'Toole is on first base, 2 out, the bottom of the third. No score in the game so far, 0-0 ball game, and Chacon will be the batter after they change the helmet for a cap down there for O'Toole. Two away for the Reds. O'Toole on first. Chacon up. He took the third strike in the first inning. So Elio up there again. And the Yankees are playing him straight away, if anything. Whitey Ford pitches. O'Toole took Chacon took a high curveball for ball one as O'Toole quickly got back to the bag. Howard gave him a look down there, but O'Toole wasn't too far off it. Ford works again. Chacon hit a squibber, a ground ball down to the second baseman. Richardson fielded the ball and threw Chacon out at first. And that sets a world record, a major league record for World Series pitching, which we will tell you about, because this is the end of the third inning, and the score is the New York Yankees 0 and the Cincinnati Reds 0. The big news right now is that Whitey Ford of the New York Yankees has set a World Series pitching record by pitching 30 consecutive scoreless innings over 2 seasons of World Series play. He broke Babe Ruth's record, as Babe Ruth had pitched 29 2/3 innings of consecutive scoreless baseball in 1916 and again in 1918. And the umpires were that considerate that when the record was broken, Augie Donatelli made the presentation or asked O'Toole about it, and asked O'Toole, and O'Toole said, yes, change the ball. And Donatelli threw the ball to Frankie Crosetti, the third base coach, and Frankie Crosetti will present the ball to Whitey Ford. And that is a World Series record, because back in 1916, Babe Ruth pitched 13 scoreless innings against Brooklyn. And then in the 1918 series, he pitched 16 scoreless innings, 16 and 2/3 scoreless innings, I believe, against the Chicago Cubs, for a total of 29 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings in World Series play. Now, Ford made his against Pittsburgh last year and the Reds this year.